everybody, Jason Bermas here. We had a great show lined up for you today. We derped with Kurp on his Derp with Kurp program. That's Kurt Metzger for well over 2 hours. We talked Epstein and beyond. We got way deep in the weeds and beyond. You are not going to want to miss this one. Remember, folks, I can't do it without you. $5, $10, $15. It absolutely means the world to me. Big donors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, especially in this holiday season. Guys, I just got nailed with a car bill I was hoping was going to be under $1,000, and it was almost $1,500. Got to tell you, tough times right now via the independent media and no paychecks. So if you do have it to give, now is the time, especially if you enjoy this coming show. It's a long one, but buckle up and get ready to make sense of the madness.
Well, my name is Kurp, and I derp petite derp. Oh, won't you come and derp with me?
Hello, welcome to the Derp with Kurp, and a merpy derpmas to you and yours. What a great show. What a great derp I have today. Well, it could have been a better derp, but there's still hope. There's still hope for this derp. But luckily, one thing that is a solid derp today is I got my old boy Jason Bermas on, the guy that made Loose Change. Remember that guy he was right about the thing, and I didn't listen to him. Now, it's possible if there's a Kurpus miracle that Big Homie CC will be joining us. I don't know where he is, and I mean like in general, like. I've been watching the Diddy shit for like 3 years, Jason. I always bring it up to you. Always bring it up to everybody. Everybody hates it until then the Netflix thing. They're like, "Oh, you see? I told you." Anyway, Jaguar Wright started spilling beans. Diddy's bodyguard. You know, if you want the most solid terrestrial thing, Diddy's what's his name? Gene Deal. Okay, and then. Big Homie CC is a bodyguard for a bunch of people, and he was talking about how fucked up the bodyguard business is. And I'm just gonna cut to the chase. He's got a Bigfoot story. Do you know how fucking rare that is to find a black man with a Bigfoot story? You understand the prize, Jason? So we're gonna hold out a Christmas hope. The Big Homie gets here because you ain't. When have you ever even heard of such a thing?
I don't know that I have. Largely white males.
This is my John C. Lilly part of the costume of John C. Lilly. Just the hat. The hat's the only part. I have a nice John C. Lilly costume.
Listen,
ready to spring.
Kurt, you just brought up the Diddy situation, and you mentioned Netflix, but you were obviously alluding to the Netflix documentary. I haven't watched it yet, but what I did watch was Chappelle just did his new special. And he said something that I had not heard anywhere else. Again, I haven't...
24 journalists that killed thing? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Of course, I've been following that. I don't know if he's correct on the number and the 3 months.
Correct
Who
on
knows?
The number. I couldn't... You know, I was very happy that he said it too, because it's the most journalists ever recorded killed in a war or something. It was a historical record of killing journalists. And back when everybody's whining about Riyadh Festival... Me and Jimmy got in a shouting match. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy is the type of dude that he's going to feel obligated that he has to talk about the Crown Prince or something. I don't. I live in America. This is what I live in America, which is more evil than Saudi Arabia. And I'm sorry, whoever doesn't like that, go fuck yourselves. Also, I played the Indian Poop Festival, so who am I? Can't throw poop, am I right?
I'm a big believer into speaking to as many people as possible at any venue that would allow it. You know, during the Loose Change days, I specifically remember going to Boston and speaking at one of the bow tie Muslim mosques, you know, one of the Farrakhan associated ones. And I had great turnout, great conversation after the fact, etc. Again, I don't want to limit myself. Going back to what Chappelle said, and maybe you heard this before, I hadn't heard it. He has a whole bit about going to after parties, and he makes the claim that there was an FBI unit specifically put into the hip hop arena, and that.
Oh, you don't say.
What's that?
Oh, that sounds far-fetched.
Well, he takes it even further. He says that back in the late 90s, that hip-hop unit was actually started specifically to look at Christopher Wallace and Sean Puffy Combs.
Hey.
So
I've heard that before. That's wait, why that? You never heard of that?
Well, I had not heard that I had heard the FBI, of course, was involved in surveillance of certain hip-hop groups. Over the years, you certainly had cases in lower levels, drugs, guns, etc. Even Diddy himself, right, with Jennifer Lopez and that shooting in which, one of his other associates took the blame, all that stuff. But, he contends basically, he goes to a modern day party and he basically had a feeling about the lights. He was put onto it early on that if the lights looked a certain way, they weren't quite dim enough, they were off, that's because the FBI was there and everybody was under surveillance. And people would come to him and say that. And he just mentioned a modern party where he got that same type of feeling. And he said, look, the bottom line is this. He's like, if they were surveilling this guy in the 90s and they had all this time, do you really think this is the first time he acted out where he hit a woman or did any of these nefarious things? Why did they choose now to go after him?
Because, well, here's an answer. Because the FBI is there to make sure the op goes according to plan. First, the CIA gets in the country. Mm-hmm. By the way, Branson, Missouri. Remember gross fucking, it's not even that it's like one of those Christian theme parks. Like, kind of is, but you've heard of Branson, right?
Yeah, I've driven through it.
Yeah. Dude, the kind of foul CIA shit going on in Branson, Missouri. I mean, it's unreal. And people are perpetrating it like serial killers, dude. Fucking serial killers. Okay? And they work for the CIA. If they could spy on us, so nobody's jerked off camera in 30 years. That's a fact. Sorry, everyone. You don't jerk off like your grandpa did, which is you and Jesus crying. 17 intelligence agencies are storing the metadata of your jerk-offs because we need the AI to go through it and see if you're going to be a problem later by predictive monitoring your jerk-offs. But I mean, I'm joking, but it's true. Your refrigerator is watching you fucking in the shower and shit. Smart. Anyway. So now I had this same thought when watching Sean Ryan talk to that CIA broad that's like, there's all these ISISes in Iran and Zizes in here in America, and they might have stuck in a weapon, all the ISISes. Okay, so let's just put aside that ISIS is our friend. That's who runs Syria. Trump shook his hand, idiots. Let's put that aside, okay? You've been watching me jerk off for 30 years, all of us, and you can't stop that if you want to stop it? I don't fucking believe you, motherfucker. So, yeah, of course they had the fucking FBI in there. What does the FBI do besides stitch people up with bullshit, fake terror things that they start, and they're allowed to say, no, we just have to prove it was in your nature to commit this. What are you, fucking angels? What the fuck does that mean? That's the law. Entrapment ain't what people think it is. So, no, yeah, obviously he's telling the exact truth about it and merely scratching the surface. I was trying to scratch the screen. Just scritching the very surface of how fucked it is, which you all should have known from when they dropped black squares on the Epstein pages.
And obviously,
why bother redacting them? Copy one page. Just say you did it.
Well, again, I think, obviously that's where I want to go with you today, as I've been going through a plethora of the Epstein files. I mean, large troughs of it being completely and totally censored. However, there are plenty of things in there, Kurt, that nobody seems to be reporting on. Today, I posted one of the passports, at least the passport we know about, where he has a fake identity. Again, in the documents, if you go through them, it seems that he has at least 2 passports and possibly a third that's flipped over on top of that safe that they break into. There are also some blue notebooks. They don't let you know what's going on in there. At least the modern day surveillance room is actually shown in the New York photograph. So, and then here's a funny thing. Right by that surveillance room, that is the location of the Bill Clinton pointing at you an address. So here's how it works. When you walk into the surveillance room, the first thing you see, there's just a small hallway, and then over to the right.
Are you able to post this up here from your end or no?
What's that? Can I? I'd have to go through my.
I'd have to ask you because I don't know how to work nothing.
I know you don't. That I could try pulling it up. It's not. It's not going to be just totally close. Because again, you got me at the last minute, Kurt. Had you not, I would have had all this stuff ready.
Andy
for
Hunt
it.
might sneak in too now.
What's that?
Andy Hunt might. Oh, the other reason I want Big Homie CC, besides this new Bigfoot info, me. I mean, you probably said this and I didn't see it. If I guess if anybody else might say it, but me, him, and then Whitey Webb, as Jimmy calls it. That's the only people I seen mention. Maureen Comey was the one trying Diddy, so don't expect shit, idiots. Because she did the Ghislaine trial, and that's James Comey's fucking daughter. And if this shit's real, why didn't Trump already have her rounded up in the secret QAnon moon prison? Anyone?
Well, there is no secret QAnon moon prison, obviously.
What?
Well, hold on, Kurt, because there's a lot more that actually I'm going to try to bring it up right now. We're going to try to show you, okay?
Let's
So
take a good look at this.
the surveillance room, like I said, that has, and by the way, there's also, I go over a lot of the artwork and the photographs and the stuff that's new, what's not new. But next to that painting is also a framed, it looks like a letter of some sort. It's definitely writing, right? Now, throughout the documents, there are points where they give you a photograph, and some of these letters and writings are shown. This one, for some reason, is not. I'm sure it gives context to the painting. So then, over to the right is surveillance equipment where you have 3 bottom monitors, and then you have 4 large screen TVs.
Wait, are you put it up or no?
I'm literally compiling the files right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to let him in the room. Hold on.
Oh, this guy, I got you. So we have that information. Here's the server room. Let me see if I can find it's the painting right around.
Yeah, Andy. You know Andy Hunt, right?
Andy who?
Andy Hunt from Control All History.
I don't know that I do know Andy Hunt,
Oh,
actually.
you got to watch his video. Dude, the other Erica Kirk from 1975.
What?
You
Erica
there's
Kirk
another
from
Kirk.
1970. Now you're losing me. What are we talking about here? Go ahead.
Well, it sounds like insanity, don't it? He could tell you, because you're gonna just look at me in this hat and think that I'm just talking a lot of shit. Is what's gonna happen. Let's
Well,
face
I
it.
did look into Erica Kirk's parents, and her mother is very, very highly involved in the defense industry, the intel industry, AZ Tech. That is all real. And the father, who I guess is divorced, also worked for AZ Tech, but his role is a lot less clear. However, there's public...
Wait, what's AZ Tech?
AZ Tech's kind of like this privatized firm that deals in technology and the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the private contractors that work with them. So you are
Is it in
talking...
Arizona?
I think it actually is in Arizona because...
So that's why it's AZ. Okay, I promise you that is some deep, dark fucking... Somebody made a deal with a fucking snake devil thing in the mountains. That's at the level of an Arizona tech company that does defense contract. Arizona is fucked up. It's like a real Utah out there, you know?
Oh, is it? All right, so now
We
we've
got
got
access to the thin places where the fucking Indians would go do their, the Kachina, like Arizona's not the Hopi, but the high, you call it a high place, you would call it. And all these people believe in that. They believe in it hardcore. Whether you believe in it with your fucking rational, oh yeah, Superstition Mountain.
So here we go. We're all ready to go. We did it on the fly,
Yes.
folks. We will show you right now. Let me see if I can go articles, no graphics. This is what we want. Bam. So here you can see the Bill Clinton painting, and everything's kind of like labeled. There's A, and there's different subsections or whatever. Let's see.
Oh, so is it like pointing? But it's fun. This is like Goonies. He left like a trail of clues.
And here's the room.
Yeah,
and
Andy.
you notice I told you that letter that's framed.
Oh, we're taking a virtual tour. Big homie CC, I ain't heard from yet. Okay, the first black man that has ever seen Bigfoot. We're still gonna get him, and also, he's also got a wealth of stories that I want to hear. I've followed him for a little bit, but I don't know where he is. He might be in Africa or something. So there may be a time mix-up. So it's good of you guys to come for a derp miss miracle. Okay.
So
I'm just getting
yeah, I'm just showing everybody here again because you can take the 4 pictures and figure it out. You walk into a room, it is Bill Clinton pointing. There's some kind of letter that's framed next to it. You see the surveillance gear. This is the surveillance room. There's the letter A.
Are you sure? Wait. Are you sure it's not his goon cave? Because I've seen a lot of people online. I'm not even joking. Who I learned about the term goon cave. I want to point out from Ben Avery. I'm old. Why would I be online? No, but Ben Avery's a younger man. He goes, "You don't know what these people do? Called gooning." And there's all memes. What you just showed there is all memes of like that's an incel dream fortress where you have 6 screens You know, and I mean it's Epstein. So who's doing the surveillance? I guess it's Epstein at the end of the day, right?
Well, I would assume that, and again, in the same, I think this is the bathroom. Some people, and again, I don't know exactly what this is, but he has the caricature painting of himself and Bill Clinton in the plane. And then some people have postured that this could be the next two presidents. I don't know, Barack Obama and George Bush. I can't tell who that is in the background. With the bowling balls, some people have tried to say this is Epstein saying he has him by the balls. But again, all of this is in the surveillance region right here. See, there's the server, and that's why you could joke about the gooning, but there's several servers. And the other thing is, again, Kurt,
that's a good goon server. Yeah.
There's many servers throughout the properties. And what we can tell by this, first of all, we get a look into the binders, what the binders were labeled. Some are still blacked out. Some of the things are still blacked out. We also see another private security room that is not this room, that they do not go into. This is all the New York home as well. There are other big revelations here in that regard. So we also know not only the time period, right, but all the way back to 1997, he has literal physical digital records. So he's got, it says 97 on them, and he's got the little floppies, not the floppy floppies, but remember those little hard disk 1.44 floppies? He's got a slew of those. Now, he's also got a ton of architectural drawings in the basement. Again, no one else is really going over the files. They're all going over the sensationalized stuff, and now we're also getting a look into what they had via Miami Beach, and because a lot of the Clinton stuff, it seems like
Miami Beach. Wait. So that Miami Beach, last I heard of that, and I want to have Sean Atwood on at some point to explain to me, because I haven't heard any more on this. There was a cop from there who fled to Russia with shit from that.
All right, so let's talk about that, because people are in my chat about that.
I never heard about anything ever again.
I'll tell you all about it.
Surely there would be something about it.
Tell you all about it. So
wait, Mark, drop out. I have like 4 blocks here.
You're talking about John Mark Dugan, okay? And here's the deal. Again, I've been on this case for literally over a decade. When it first got reported, remember, I was the first guy over at InfoWars. At the time, I was putting out a film called Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, that has a large subsection about Iran-Contra, okay? And I'm going to show you how there's been more confirmation of Epstein and Iran-Contra with this new article no one's talking about, and they should be.
Yeah, well, why would we want to talk about something like that?
Well, we're going to talk about
midterms, we're going to even show a titty peek of nothing.
But essentially, John Mark Dugan worked with one of the officers that just would not bend the knee on the Epstein case. Okay, now this guy's no longer alive, and this is where John Mark Dugan probably starts lying. And God knows what he actually saw, what he actually did, etc. He claimed that this officer gave him the real Epstein files, like the videos that we're not seeing, the photographs that we're not seeing, all of them. He claimed to have them for a long time, went to Russia, said he had death threats, and then came out, said it was all a hoax. And some people still believe it. He said he hoaxed it to save his life, but he actually did see the files. He just doesn't have them in his possession. I'm a big, I gotta see the documents guy. I don't necessarily just discount eyewitnesses out of hand. Hell, you know, Kurt, I had Maria Farmer on this very broadcast in 2019 when she just started doing those interviews. Now, she made the claim that she had gone to the FBI and the NYPD in 1996 on Epstein. This document dump proves she did that, and those documents were not in the public arena for whatever reason.
Well, I think you said the reason why they were not.
Here's the big reveal outside of the documents. Mike Benz is the only one picking up on this, and kudos to Mike Benz. I know there's a lot of people out there that shit on Benz, but I'll tell you what, he goes through and he shows you. And I looked and I read this entire article. It takes about an hour plus if you're being honest with yourself and you're not speed reading. It is called Scam Schemes, Ruthless Cons, The Untold Story of How Jeffrey Epstein Got Rich. New York Times. Now, you got 4 journalists on this. Now, this is one of the best examples that I could ever give of a real journalistic piece that is meant to hide the truth in plain view. So we're going to hit Control F. Now, outright, what they do here is they tell you right away, Kurt, that there is no conspiracy with intelligence agencies, and here's how he really got rich. Okay? And then
what year?
This just came out this last week. This is
right.
literally December 16th. Okay? So this is brand new. No one's picking up on it. They need to be. So they preface it. He's not an intel asset. Okay. So let's hit the first thing. Let's type in.
More than that.
There's three huge reveals here. Douglas Lease. All right. So.
Make Bermas big for a minute, will you? I can't read it. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. We'll make it bigger.
Okay.
Oh, me big. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're doing that. See, we're really screwing it. There we go.
Okay.
So as you can see, Douglas Lease, now one of his partners, who was named Steve Hoffenberg, and I'd covered this, had made the claim he was introduced to Epstein via Douglas Lease. Hoffenberg does actual jail time for the Towers financial scam. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yes, and he didn't understand why Jeffrey didn't know time.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, let me tell you why. So in
not
1981, okay, he's already had a relationship with this person who introduced him to Douglas Lease, and she dedicates her self-help book to Jeffrey. Okay, that's the second paragraph. Heel took Epstein to visit rich acquaintance of heirs, Nick Lease, at the family's countryside manor. There they met Nick's father, Douglas Lease, a defense contractor with extensive connections where? In the arms industry and the British government. He took an immediate liking to Epstein. He actually, if you read it, he takes Epstein on all of his arms deal trips. And you know what he's dealing arms for? Iran-Contra at the time. Now remember, Epstein at the same time is doing the financials at Bear Stearns. They're working with BCCI. And he's doing the finances for Adnan Khashoggi. So it's on the Iran end. So that's not reveal number one. You ready for reveal number two?
Yeah.
Let's hit Control F. Pottinger. Now, my man Johnny Vedmore, about a year and a half ago, did a full-on piece about lawyer Stanley Pottinger, okay? And how he and Epstein actually shared an office together. And this was significant because Pottinger ends up representing a bunch of the Epstein victims later on. And after I talked about that Maria Farmer interview. Maria Farmer ends up starting attacking people. Her sister Annie is one of the ones you've actually seen win. And she got brain cancer, a lot going on there. She's dating Pottinger. Okay, she's living with Pottinger.
I might have some input on that, Bermo.
Well, I'm just saying she's dating Pottinger. Now the New York Times, for the first time, is revealing they not only shared an office together. Again, Pottinger, heavily involved in Iran-Contra. They were in business together. So now you have Epstein directly connected.
Some of the girls are also handlers as well as victims. And then you're going to be connected to this shit.
And here's the other big reveal. And again, a lot of this stuff is stuff I've reported on in the peripheral. We're getting more insight. And because the mainstream's talking about it, it's a little bit more. People will go, oh, well, it's the New York Times. David Rockefeller, personal relationship. I don't see anyone talking about this. Now, I've talked about the fact that Epstein was CFR, Rockefeller Organization. He was also Trilateral Commission. This talks about personal meetings with Rockefeller, him essentially buying his way into the Trilateral Commission, the Rockefellers having documentation of working with Epstein, or at least meeting him, and then their denial, because Epstein was going around saying that he was managing finances for the Rockefellers, that he ever managed finances for them. So,
well, I believe them. I mean, it's not like they funded Hitler or something. But all the greats, they fund all the greats.
So
why is it just Jason now? Oh, there we go.
Again, there's a lot out there right now. There's a lot out there that people should be paying attention to. Les Wexner in these new document dumps, right? First of all, there's Epstein on some kind of it's like an excavation, an archaeological excavation with this guy where they've got these drawings, and it seems to be in the region of his New Mexico estate. And although Zorro Ranch is constantly referred to, and a bunch of the discs have Zorro Ranch on it,
yeah.
We never went into Zorro Ranch. And by we, I mean the government, the DOJ, the FBI.
They
never went there.
They're just not going to tell you what's in there.
And they never went to Paris. He had a large apartment complex in Paris as well. We're not going to see any of that documentation.
That's where Macron's wife's dick is being kept. No, I don't know that. I can't verify that.
Oh, man. It's
behind. I'm going to destroy the credibility of this report if it's the last thing I do.
I mean, I'm trying. You know how I am, Kurt. I
know, dude. It's so invaluable to
Yeah.
connect because that little detail about Pottinger explains, dude, I got told about Trump and didn't want to believe it a long time ago, okay? Even though he clearly fucked everybody. You were fucked for he even hit the office, it turns out. I didn't have faith in him because it's, the president. But I had a little hope because, boy, everybody sure talked a lot where I'm like, oh, maybe.
Well, did you see him get asked about the Bill Clinton photographs and how he defended Clinton and said he likes Bill Clinton, and then he went after Thomas Massey? Like, he literally...
No, I know.
That bothers me, because and he lied about Massey's polling numbers. Look, Massey's
Why
the
would it
real
bother
deal.
you? Because it's a fucking lie and Massey's the last good man left in the government? Would that be why it bothers you?
I don't want to say last good man. Again, I've been in this game now like 20 years,
But
right?
I see you do interviews on things, and I just am like, dude, watch your back out there, Massey, because, like, see, Andy, by the way, this is why it's good for you to know Andy, because Control History, his collection of Hustler, apparently Andy has a collection of Hustler magazines that is unparalleled.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Andy has that collection,
articles, he really did.
let me just say this. Props to Hustler magazine. They were
That's what I learned from Andy.
They literally were one of the only ones to cover loose change back in the day, 9/11 Truth, but they were also the only ones to publish the stills from a video of Timothy McVeigh on a military base long after he had supposedly been dishonorably discharged in a tank on a base where they were doing work with explosives and ordnances.
Mm-hmm. And so, because Larry Flint, I mean, I in my opinion, I don't want his ghost to sue me, but because Larry Flint was in all probability a real pedo, he eventually allied with the Clintons. So it's not that. See, here's the thing: you don't got to be a good guy for me to. People. This is what when you show that New York Times thing. That's an important thing you're showing, where how they frame it, and put that clamp on your fucking brain. Because I'm watching it now with the Charlie Kirk shit. We report on Jimmy's show every day. Mm-hmm. Everybody better stop making people their fucking hero. You better learn a new way to fucking think, because all they're going to do, and it'll be the easiest way to lead your dumb cow asses around for your whole fucking life for 9 generations. Don't be saying nothing about this celeb that I like. No, but not John Lennon or whatever the fuck you stupid fucking shit you think is special to you. You better let go of that shit, because that's how they run your ass. So now I watch this in person. It enrages me, because I got to be on Jimmy's show watching the news, and Jimmy is like going to be honest about news to a fault. And also he can never get rid of his like young Irish kid from Chicago. Like, he's going to get Cornel Wested again and again. Cornel West, the disappointment that he felt about Cornel West turned out to be complete horseshit. That my girl could have told him was horseshit. I was like, maybe he's okay. I don't know. But he was crushed by it, and he would bring it up a lot because it genuinely hurt him, because he thought that guy was not, bullshit. So they're all bullshit. You just got to go like a flea market and pick the knickknacks and facts that you can connect with other shit.
I interviewed West like a year and a half ago, and he was on tour with his conservative buddy because they just put a book out there together.
It's all the same wrestling company. Okay.
I say this. He's better than most, like at least like years
He's
ago.
He's compromised utterly completely. He's got child support problems, tax problems. COVID was a real tester for what you are. By the way, Noam Chomsky, who's also in the fucking file.
All over him.
So you know how, and I would admit to being a bit baffled when Noam Chomsky, the guy who did
manufacturing
which
consent,
is a real thing.
Yeah.
The guy in the interview with the reporter, he goes, "No, you're all controlled." And he goes, "Are you saying I wouldn't?" He goes, "They don't even have to tell you what to say. You're going to say it." Okay. Then he comes out and says, concentration camps for non-vaccinated. Hey, what's going? Oh, and now he's in the Epstein thing. Well, here's what that was. It's called the revelation of the method. Everybody out there, I ain't telling you got to believe whatever you got to believe, but if you're secular and you stay in the left brain zone with all your shit, and if you make your living that way, and see, it's invaluable to me how people would never touch on the goofy shit I would touch on. I want to talk to the first black man I ever heard talk about Bigfoot, I don't even like Bigfoot. I'm just fascinated by that. Okay? But because Jason does what he does, I can get the information I need to correlate these stories. And I can get a little insider things on who's a fucking scumbag liar sometimes, or maybe they're lying for a reason. That's why you need to have that. But I'm just telling you on a personal level, I'd look into the stuff that you have a blind spot to, like I told Scott Horton. Another guy, very smart, thinks 9/11 is the one they didn't fake. Why? Not because of anything other than he doesn't like Alex Jones, is what I gather. And he doesn't like religious shit. I think he loves heavy metal because he had a chain wallet. He brought up, what is just good music? He brought up Satanic Panic. I'm like, dude, I don't care. I just like, don't tell me you're a far right conservative and then you worship an owl in the woods. That's the part I have an issue with. Closeted shit. Anyway, they're going to make it a cult of personality no matter what. So right now, and I have this argument with people that I know that are not dumb, but they're absolutely psychologically controlled, worse than North Korea level, which is what America does. So, for example, they go, but Candace is a liar when it comes to the irregularities with the Kirk thing. Oh, Candace is a liar. No, you don't say. Aren't you a liar and every other human? I don't give a fuck. You don't got to like her. Do you think I'm getting my information from Candace? You don't think I knew about this? A bunch of people knew about this like way before. And thank you, Candace, for spreading the word. I don't get into that. I saw it first. And it's my report because I don't know to live in all of it. I just want the information.
Even if you listen, man, I have done this forever, and I'll tell you right now, very difficult in the quote unquote independent media world. I was lucky, back when I first met you, to have a paying gig, and they're setting up in it how I never sought out Cornell West, right? They're setting those things up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's dead as dead can be. I mean, if you don't work for The Blaze, right? And okay, great, they've got a perspective. Or you don't work for InfoWars, right? If you're not at the Gateway Pundit, what else is there, really? I mean, there's not even a left-leaning alternative media whatsoever.
All you could do.
What's that?
All you could do is do your own. All you could do is do your own thing.
I agree.
And never accept the thing where you're not going to say what you want to fucking say. That's all you could do.
Yeah, I agree. And even with the paid gigs, I always said that. Like, you're not buying my opinion. I'll talk to I remember I had Joel Pollack, who's the main editor of Breitbart, on a couple times right around the beginning of, after October 7th, staunch neocon Zionist visiting Israel. We couldn't have disagreed more on foreign policy, but, we could be civil to one another. I want those kind of conversations.
I do too, but it's very annoying when I seen the things I had to fucking watch on Jimmy's fucking show that I was very hesitant. So it's a lot of anger of like, holy shit, I can't believe I was like not comfortable hearing the truth because it's so bad. It's so bad. And so what is that in the background?
Is that you, or that could be out behind me? I don't know. I heard the beep, beep, beep too.
Is that the sound of an unchanged fire alarm battery? Is Big Homie CC here? It's just a late joke. I will find him. He might be in another country and I didn't communicate.
I like that you're so interested in the identity politics of Bigfoot, not Bigfoot itself, not the Sasquatch itself.
Look, I'm just trying to be funny about it, but I would go watch all his interviews on Art of Dialogue. See, I watch all that shit, and all my friends. So today we're having a real Caucasian Kurp miss, but I would have had, because I notice people don't. Nobody like I learned about Steve Coakley from Godfrey. You know Steve Coakley?
Yes, but Coakley's been wrong on a lot of things too, like his assassination
wait, what was he wrong on?
Well, Martin Luther King Jr. I don't know that Jesse Jackson is at I've looked into a lot of that stuff. I'll always say this. I'll listen to everybody.
I don't know what it is. Wait. Will you say what you just said again? What do you mean?
Didn't Steve Coakley talk about the assassination along with, there was another guy too, of Martin Luther King Jr. and basically Jesse Jackson was involved and maybe even fired the shot. There's some people that say that. I think
it sounds very Charlie Kirk-like, doesn't it?
Listen,
it?
I've talked about it like this.
Look,
no matter what you believe about these assassinations, Kurt, there is a direct correlation to that time period now where all of a sudden political assassinations are on the table again, and now we've had one that's successful. Again, no matter who you think did it or why they did it, we weren't living in this era except for in the 60s and 70s. It was, don't get me wrong, Reagan gets shot in the 80s, but that guy's walking around playing clubs literally with his guitar at this point.
Number one, they tested it first on Charles. Well, the first one I ever heard of was the Charles Whitmore mass shooting. He's military, of course. They tested that out on that guy. There's a few of these. Then there was the I Don't Like Mondays girl that Boomtown Rats made a controversial song, and that was a lesbian girl that did a school shooting from a window. That's okay. Then, now here's something that's really important to remember. Remember it was called Going Postal, and Jerry Seinfeld said to Newman, what's with you guys? It's the mail, Jerry. It keeps coming, right? And there's a video game that made several sequels well past when it was no longer called that, and in fact called the school shooting. Now, how on earth did this rash of where it happened so much it was called going postal suddenly change formats to all at schools, nearly all at schools? Or what the fuck is that? Is that mine? Do you hear that? Like an echo? I'm yelling a lot on here. Anyway, isn't that a weird shift? Like your radio station changes formats one day, and you're like, "What? Easy listening." You know, it's very strange. The web searches before the Charlie Kirk killing, you've seen that, right? James Lee, fine work by James Lee. Okay, day before they're searching the hospital, the guy that supposedly shot him, Charlie Kirk, and it's a spike that's unnatural and should not exist. Okay, and then I don't know if it got scrubbed yet. We've talked about this on Jimmy. Want to hear something creepy as hell? So I go, that's it. Oh, Tel Aviv and Washington, D.C., of course, if you're wondering where the searches were from. Okay. Not India or whatever, like the Twitters are really from, but from Tel Aviv. So on Jimmy's show, I go, hey, they should do that with all the shootings, just to be a jerk, you know? And some maniac did do that. Some maniac did do it. And guess how far back it goes? The Virginia Tech shooting. Oh, and when he sent me the files of it, which I still have the pictures of the spike, those spikes go back that far. Anytime you see someone talking about a spike, that's all of them, Jason. It's all of them. And so when he sent me that, then he got freaked out because the searches for him went up from Tel Aviv and DC, and me for sending it to me around the same time he sent it to me. So I sent it to Jimmy and I sent it to Rogan. I don't know what I just sent it to people in case. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to make of that. Well, I do know what I make of it. All the worst scenario is what's true. And Andy, can you put pictures up on the screen, Andy? Jason, I love this because what's wackier than the idea of cloning, right? Okay, but Andy reminded me in the 70s we were about to have cloning and then we didn't. And then in 2000, it was when Craig Kilborn was the host of The Daily Show. That was a joke on the Craig Kilborn show, the Dolly the Sheep. These men of science, they do things to me. It was like a fucking bit.
Yeah.
And what got lost in all that time was I had forgotten about this. The reason we don't do cloning is because it's not ethical, not because they can't do it. You're aware of that, right, Jason?
I did a big thing on a gentleman who gave a 1984 lecture called Michio Kushi and the New Human Race. And if you've not seen that, it is a must-watch.
I would like to see that.
You need to watch because he lays out a timeline that's actually very depressing as he reveals it. But
Andy has to watch that also very quickly because Andy. All right, can you put a picture up on the screen, Andy?
I don't think so. No.
I wish everybody else could operate my own show for me because I don't like to do it. So Andy,
it was share your screen, Andy, with the StreamYard button. It's the plus button at the bottom of your.
Yeah, because he's got a great thing on the Erica Kirk from 1975. You'll never believe who she looks like. You'll never believe it, Jason. Now, my girlfriend looked at it and go, they don't look alike. I'm like, are you crazy, bitch? So some people, and I saw in comments, people go, they don't look alike. No, they look really related, and they're both the America Kirk. That's very, very strange. I don't think the governor looked like Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, right.
But it don't matter because she came. Oh, by the way, this Erica Kirk, married to the governor, they were calling her Madam X. Like this, was he like a wild bachelor in Florida that got elected? He was like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he was a really cool guy. Yeah, he was.
He knew where to get good coke. Put it that way, Jason. I know you're real like to know the guys that know where to get the good shit.
Oh yeah,
like him and Ollie North. If you want to get some good blow, no, don't do cocaine. But if you do Ollie North's cocaine or this guy. Yeah, I want to put I want to show the picture. I showed it on another episode back then. I've been yapping.
What picture were you looking for?
The side by side you have as a fucking thumbnail.
For Erica Kirk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see here. Sorry.
If big homie CC was here, I could triangulate an entire theory of shit. I mean, this is why I have to have everybody on so I could ping off you guys. So you don't have to believe in shit. I just need to know what you know so I can verify the crazy shit I know.
Sorry, I'm trying to track it down.
Anyway, I lean towards Maria might be MK'd as well. You have to understand, people in these programs, they're scientists. Hey, how come why wasn't I invited to look at UFOs? I'll be Eric Weinstein. If it's real, wouldn't it come to me, Eric Weinstein, the #1 Weinstein in the country? You yap too much. No, I like that about him, but they're going to get specific people do that. And you're going to agree to some shit you saw in Men in Black where they erase your fucking memory because they can easily. First of all, anyone that doubts my word, why is my memory so much better than everyone's? That makes no fucking sense, dude. You know how much I try to kill. I'm going to have 3 claws during this podcast. I don't forget this shit. Why? Everybody else does. They can't remember anything for more than 2 weeks. Do you think that's normal? I don't think it is. I don't think I'm a special superhero because I can remember a thing for more than a year, you know? So why can no one else do that? I mean, I'm not saying you, but you see what I'm saying? It's not normal. It's been getting worse. And it's not because people are stupid. They're doing something. And I don't even think they have to use that much tech for it, honestly. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not even has the most alike that they look.
But yeah, that's the wrong one.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you got like 3 parts. You really got into. You're a real Candace of looking for dick with this one. Yo, yeah. Jason, you know what's great about Andy's channel? The time period. It reminds you that Reagan had his own Epstein, Alfred Bloomingdale. Remember I was telling you about that a while ago?
I don't know if I remember the Bloomingdale conversation, no.
His kitchen cabinet. And John Kiriakou didn't know about it. He brought up Reagan's kitchen cabinet without knowing the rest of the story, which is wild. I still haven't got to ask him about it.
I got to get Kiriakou on my program. He's got just so much. I mean, I guess I didn't realize how involved he was with people like Daniel Pearl, who are that original beheading.
Okay, here's what I want to ask him about that, because someone I spoke to who had knew Daniel Pearl, he called him Danny. He said, and I assumed Daniel Pearl this whole time was probably some agent that got caught and they did that horrible. No, he was just a regular guy. This guy told me that Daniel Pearl met with the CIA before he went to that interview, and the CIA put some kind of tracker on him. And because, you know, Pakistan and the United States created Al-Qaeda with Israel, they had the shit to detect it.
Kiriakou told me he met with him the day he was murdered. Literally.
I know. So do you see where the correlation is?
I mean, yeah, no, I get it. That's why I got to. And we were having a great lunch.
I didn't know why he was having that happen to him, because he had no intention of spying. So, Kiriakou, you're one of the last people to see him. Well, I heard about this surveillance thing they put on him that, you know, because Al-Qaeda belongs to fucking America and all that shit was done to you by America, idiots who don't understand that. They got that guy's head chopped off, and here's where I'm at. I'm out of the Overton window. I'm in the Rick Overton window, it's called. You know Rick Overton? I'm in that window.
I do.
Okay. When they do these King Kill 33s or these public sacrifices, that is a strong psychological operation for you to never forget. So that's Charlie Kirk to a T. That's why there are Egyptian planes circling. I'll send you the fucking clip. There's some chick that track their flights. Egyptian planes means Israel, assholes, by the way, everyone. If you're wondering, what would an Egyptian plane be? It means Israel. It means fucking Israel. That's what it means. In fact, when you see a thing, you're like, who did this? If you throw out Israel every time, you'll be wrong, but you'll be about 80% right. Now, they're not the top of the thing. They're not the top of the thing because the oligarchs who created Israel, you'll notice, don't fucking live in Israel, do they? They live in where? England, an island they bought. They live in Terramar, Earthsea, whatever the fuck Ghislaine said she's a citizen of when they arrested her. That's where they live. The John Galt Island from Ayn Rand, right? Remember that? Did you read that?
I did not. Everyone tells me I need to read.
I've only heard of it.
Ayn Rand. Yeah, no, I haven't. You're talking about Atlas Shrugged, right?
Yeah. That's about her ex-boyfriend, Eddie Munster D. Rothschild.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he's John Galt. Who's John Galt? It's Eddie Munster Rothschild. And they said they're sick of the government's and the people's stupidity of democracy. And these are great men, and they can't be held down. You know, the heroes of the book are the industrialists. Oh. Yeah, and they're sick of it. And they start a place they call fucking Atlantis. I don't know if that sounds a little weird to you. I don't know if that sounds bad to you. Tomorrowland, if you're like a George Clooney fan, right? And then they sabotage the infrastructure back home so to hasten the collapse. Does this sound familiar to anyone? But I didn't read that book, so I didn't know. But you hear it, right? You hear what the what do the tech fucking freaks all say? The Kali Yuga, right? The fucking accelerationism. Do you know what that shit is at the end of the day? That's fucking Kabbalah shit. And that's that Frankist and Rasputin, salvation through sin. They're all the same thing. They just keep reskinning them. They're like, if we sin enough, the Messiah has to come. Like, if we break the place, then he has to come and save us. So we're kind of heroes if you think about it. Honestly, me being a PDF file from generational PDF files kind of is a heroic choice to make of the left-hand path of being a sickening PDF file. It's kind of brave. I watched a fucking New Age bitch say that shit. She didn't say the part I'm saying, but the left-hand path is for the brave people. She DMT'd and learned that really brave people are on the left-hand path. Like that guy you were trying to smear just now with your thing. Anyway, Andy, okay, we just summarized for him because I'm going to mangle it and I'm going to lose my place because I'm like, you know how I am, dude. Everybody knows how I am. But explain this to Jason, the thing with Erica Kirk. I mean, yeah. And make sure it's focused on my great hat while you...
Yeah, it's a strange thing. So the Florida First Lady on the left there from 1967 to 1971, her name was Erica Kirk. And she looks really similar to Erica Kirk. And she has this weird backstory where she was born in Germany and then moved to South America.
She's from Brazil by way of Germany around the 50s. Does that seem weird, Jason?
Seems a little odd. Seems a little odd. She does look Nazis, strikingly like her, too.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of Nazis obviously.
And look like her? Does that... If I show this to people... See, I know everybody's got to clickbait their fucking things, but here's the problem, Andy. I want to... If you just put the first Erica Kirk, because I'm trying to show this to people. And as soon as they see clone, because the mind control programming is 100% real, everyone is geared to go, clone, what did I say to people that should be like, oh, let me see this. And they go, what did I just look at? Because you put clone there. Everyone does.
Oh, really? Maybe I'll change the thumbnail.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how to run your channel. I don't make money on this channel. It's like a real failure in that respect. But I'm trying to get word out and like, but I'll show it to people anyway. Fuck them if they don't like it. Because what the fuck is that? You're Erica Kirk and Erica Kirk. Oh, they both got weird German names, and one came out of Brazil. And come on, man, what's going on?
Let me just say this, and obviously I'm not endorsing. This is the first time I've ever seen it. As far as being in line with quote unquote the real technology of cloning, where there are so many people out there, the Dave Chappelle clone thing that I don't believe, right? I don't think that you can
we all get
gestate.
fatter, assholes. That's not cool.
Well, I don't think you can gestate a full human, right? No, like anything that they say, this isn't Westworld yet, where it's just a carbon copy. But as far as cloning a person and then raising them as an infant, just like you talked about earlier with Dolly the sheep, etc.
People don't know what it is.
That technology seems to have been around for a very, very long time, where you can clone somebody's physical aspects, and even maybe if I always joke about it. If it ever went commercial, I've always wanted an illegitimate son. I'd be just happy to clone me. And as soon as my kid gets out of line and he's like, "You don't understand, Dad," and I'd go, "Yes, I do. I'm you. Get in your room."
That's the true Orphic dream, if you want to get mythological, to not even have a stinking woman involved. Just
I want the woman
ejaculate
involved.
on a rock.
I don't want to be too sociopathic and misogynistic, but
then you'll never rise to the top, Jason.
That's also true.
Listen, unless you become, and I don't mean like you just feel gay. I mean, you literally wish you could reproduce without the help of a woman because you hate them that much. You're not even gay, really. You just hate women. That's where you got to be at if you want to go to the top. And I already knew this about you. You don't want to succeed. You don't want. You remind me of fucking the so-called Palestinians. You refuse to choose prosperity. Did you hear him say that? They didn't choose prosperity. What are you fucking? What's his name? The fucking. I'm blanking on the name. That drug dealer, silver or lead.
Listen, I've just tried to remain consistent over the years, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. I put out information that I believe to be true. A lot of this stuff it's just raw information I give to other people, and then they come back and tell me what it is. For
I'll
instance,
assemble it. That's just very valuable to me. Your show, your resource, and then Andy's. See, if you go through Andy's shit, dude, everybody should go through it because I could assemble all kind of shit just from stuff he found in fucking old hustlers.
Old hustlers.
I would have never known. But sports, all of it. But here, let me boil it all down for you guys. Number one, the Charlie Kirk thing. Here's the future of instead of right left. They know that's dying. By the way, you're fucking controllers, and yes, you can control the whole thing. I'm watching them do it, assholes. People are like they can't control. Really? It looks like they. I see people with masks sometimes still with COVID masks on. Can't control. Shut up. Anyway, the Charlie Kirk thing was a public a message to the masses we were required to see. I tried not to see it, and I was forced to see it. Right? Did you see it? Did anybody here not see the fucking Charlie Kirk death video?
No, I watched it. I unfortunately I tried not to, but
Mark,
like you said, it came up.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. It's horrible.
So
Several of them.
Mark, tall Mark. Wait, let me just bring in Mark. Mark, you said you didn't see it coming. You know, Mark is 6'8". I just want full disclosure. Mark is that unnatural and weird?
Yeah, I could prove it too. There was some discussion in the chat whether I was actually 6'8".
Those are short people. I knew you were 6'8". I believe you. People don't understand how tall I am. They think I'm much smaller. It's short people. And they just get over it. It's not a big deal to be short. Or who gives a shit? Okay. Wait. Mark, chicks will fuck you if you're short. I don't know when these new generation of people are like, you got to be. I know the apps, if you put your height in, you're going to get like, it's like me getting a credit check on a neighborhood not even as good as what I could afford here, but I don't have 2 gay guy credit and they're obnoxious in this town. I know how you feel, but guess what? Go meet people. Okay, wait. You have not ever seen Charlie Kirk being executed live.
No, I was very lucky to already have an algorithm that doesn't have anything like that in it. But Sam and the guys
all
were
pornography, basically.
Yeah, basically.
I knew I should have done that, and people told me that you don't. See, you guys are idiots.
Yeah, that was the one upside of it. But yeah, Sam and the guys were recording Tinfoil Hat that day, and they called me, and they were like, "Mark, we're not, doing the next episode." And I was like, "Why?" And then they broke the news to me. So I found out through them. I luckily just was able to.
I thought, you know what? I was afraid of like, wait, don't tell me what happened. Don't spoil it. I haven't watched it yet.
No.
Did he live? Wait, no, don't tell me. I'm still meaning to watch it.
Well, I could tell by the tone of like the way Sam and the guys told it to me that it was brutal, and they were like, "Dude, don't watch it, don't." So I was.
Why did they make us all watch it? Now, okay, I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you. It's just crazy. If I had big homie CC on right now talk about Bigfoot, that's the 2 most unique creatures on the planet right now that you just heard from. Okay, that's a message to the masses. We were required to watch it, much like when I was a boy, we had to watch the Challenger explode. They hyped it. They groomed us to give a shit about the Challenger, which I did not. The teachers going to space. I don't like. I hate school. Fuck you. Then we all had to sit and watch it. Oh, the teacher's going to space today. It blew up. I remember the goody nerd girls, 2 of them crying. And I was like, oh shit, that bitch blew up. I mean, I didn't think in those words, but I did in my heart. And we were required to see that. Why? Because we don't want you kids thinking about space shit for a while. That's why you show that to kids, much the way the moon landing at the height of America's involvement in Vietnam, all the kids, anyone alive will tell you how they sat around and went, whoa. Now, I don't think we didn't go to the moon. I just think they're lying about a lot of aspects of it, like a lot of aspects of it. Although, height of Vietnam War, that is in favor of no moon landing if you wanted to argue that, because that's a perfect distraction. You know?
I know.
Well, I'll say this, Kurt. Did you watch the debate on Danny Jones? It's like almost 4 hours between.
No. I saw it. I'm going to do Danny Jones next time I go to, because Aaron from Scientology. Oh, before I forget, Aaron last episode was telling me that Farrakhan, basically, if you're a Nation of Islam, they train you with Scientology there. They like outsource Scientology, or he like outsourced. He goes, this could heal the trauma of the black man. And so they bought, and it was like a cash infusion from Farrakhan. All the other TPUSA, they're all connected. That gross McCoy pastor, who's his dad, head of psychological warfare for the Navy. Did you know that? Roy McCoy. Oh, served with distinction. And so does his fake pastor son. And the MK controlled boy that walked away like a robot into the distance in the videos that we watched. So count up the shootings that you can think of with weird questions around them since the new transparent Kash Patel FBI. Just that one. Let's let bygones be bygones with the other ones. But all the ones since the good guys were taking over the FBI, let's just look at those ones. And I don't know how anyone could tell me that they don't think MK Ultra has never stopped.
So
I just don't know how you can say that.
So one of the reasons I did bring up that debate, and like, you know, I'm huge into NASA. I've got NASA DVDs, documentation. You know, I talk about how they're really behind the green movement. They're the first ones to do the wind turbines, all those things. Charles Duke in particular in this, and I often posit this, it's at that same time. In fact, they talk about this in the debate, the time period of the political assassinations, MK Ultra, those type of programs. The guy is so on repeat on what he says. I truly like it. It just,
who's this again? Wait, tell me him again.
Charles Duke. He's one of the last guys to actually walk on the moon, but he was on the command center side in some of the other Apollo missions. Right. I really talk about this all the time. Just the numbers alone. Right. 238,000 miles, they say right now, is the moon distance. There's no spacecraft other than what just happened with the Musk Dragon capsules a little over a year ago. There they claim to have passed the Kármán line and gone into the Van Allen belts and gone over 1,000 miles, closer to 1,500 miles. Still pretty damn short of 238,000.
Okay,
but hold on. Here's the other thing.
The assumption you would get to know what they have.
Well, I'm just saying that with rocket technology, at least what they're showing us, every other nation state is below 300 miles. That's ISS. That's the Chinese one. You're talking about not even cracking 1,000. Okay, so now you're telling me we went 238,000 with rocket technology and then back.
No, we did not.
So again,
okay, wait.
Yes.
I'm not saying anything about rocket technology because just so you know, any mathematical arguments, I don't know what the fuck. I glaze out. I think about fucking other shit. I don't understand any of that. I can't argue with a flat earther based on math.
I can.
You understand that?
Yes, okay. I could argue with a flat earther quite a bit.
Here's what I want to let all the and this is why I'm saying the future two parties are going to be the schizos versus the autists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm team schizo, brother. Well, I'm not. I think you should probably balance the hemispheres of your brain out and stop falling prey to imbalance, which is what they push on you. So we're going to leave the age of the left brain and go to the age of the right brain. And that's why retards talk about the flat earth. And I just saw this yesterday. I do like the guy's channel. He'll have good information. Sometimes it's nonsense, but I just need the data. You could tell me nonsense. I just need to hear your data. And I'll just how you did, Jason, at the top. You went in, picked out what they did, the New York Times. They made a mistake even writing anything down because you're going to look at it. That's how I look at that. So that's all I need. Just open your mouth to me, motherfucker. I'm going to get what I want out of you. That sounds weird, what I'm saying. Okay, so you could fucking lie to me. He showed this thing about, it was some really true thing that a lot of people don't know. I can't remember what it was, but here's the problem. It's a meme in his graphic. It's called Minutes of Horror. I watch his channel because it aggregates a lot of stuff. Sometimes I'll have some really good. Sometimes I'll have things where I'm like, that's nonsense, but I just need the info. So it shows these facts, these science facts, and then it says at flatearthinfo.org, like where you get it from. Mm-hmm. So now here's the magic, everyone. It's like that documentary about Israel where they brag about how much they raped the Arabs to steal their shit. Well, I recommend, just personal thing, don't put intifada on it when you show it to me. Because nobody knows what that is. It's like and I've seen good intentioned people go, well, woke is actually, it wasn't shit until Erykah Badu, that weirdo witch, tweeted it one time. I know that you nerds in academia think you know real black people like Cornel West, but you don't. Nobody was saying that shit except real jazzy fucking boule motherfuckers. Woke was bullshit, corporate bullshit, start to finish. It was poison the whole time. Stop. We're past that now, but this is an argument I had with Aaron Monte. Okay. Because he's a nice boy and an honest man and like the left that doesn't make me sick because he'd never be in charge because he would never be able to do what is necessary, basically, that kind of guy. Okay. I forgot what I was fucking talking about now. What was I just talking about?
Kurt, if I knew.
Well,
You were talking. What was he on, Andy, when he just broke off there?
I couldn't tell you.
We
what was
originally
I derping about? Here,
we were derping about
Everybody's mad because I don't finish
the
a thought,
moon,
and I
etc.
I
And
don't.
then you went off on a tangent and you talked about numbers and showing
Oh,
things. Aaron Mate.
okay.
Aaron
Don't
Mate.
throw flat Earth. Okay, here's the point. Those little terms that people get hung up on, like flat Earth or intifada, don't put that shit on. If you are sincere, don't put fucking flat Earth on some true shit, morons. First of all, the Earth's not flat. If you can't see, they're trying to herd everyone back in their left-right brain sheep pen. So schizo or autist. So the schizos are going to go in flat Earth, and the autists are going to go in round Earth. Are you all fucking retarded? I don't need any math to know this. Flat Earth was not a thing until a few years ago. Where did it come from? Where did it suddenly come from? Everybody had an awakening? No, that's not what happened. The Jesuits or some other cunt face group said, now's the time to push this meme because that's a form of magic in the world of gay shit. I don't know. I know you don't study magic, and I don't blame you because it's stomach churning to hear what these people do. But that's why they did that.
Just so you know, just because you said gay shit, there is also
gay.
Hold on. There's also in these Epstein documents a disc labeled Jean-Luc Brunel gay. There are photographs now that have been put out of some kind of drag queen guy, bare-assed at one point. I could do without that. Couple crotch shots right up your alley.
No, throw them up. No, don't, please. I need my channel.
And then, although and this is where a lot of the discrepancies come, right? So the first thing you have is the New York one, and you get a lot of these photographs of Brunel. You get the cross-dresser photograph, all that stuff. But then it's not until you get into Palm Beach that you get to see labeled CDs. And then there's one page, basically in those booklets, you know, those big binders I've talked about? A lot of those are literally printouts of thumbnails of a dozen or so of the photographs that are actually on there. So it's not a photo album per se, it's a reference photo album to what's digitally there. There seems to be like 6 or 7 photographs of Brunel with what I would assume to be a dude. Because it's all blacked out.
That's the true scandal of Epstein. It turns out that one French guy is gay.
Well, again, for those that don't know,
Yeah.
Brunel was also big into the quote-unquote fashion and modeling industry.
Yeah, tragically slip and slided in prison like Epstein.
He was in Spain. He was facing charges, and they have said that he has committed suicide. Now, I'm not even against the idea that he actually committed suicide. You put somebody in the wrong situation again and again in a prison, that can happen.
Said that?
What's that?
Epstein, you know who said that very thing? And you're the one who made me see it, that showed me the clips. Epstein said it to Steve Bannon in that 14-hour documentary. People, after one night in prison, imagine, they just kill themselves. That's in the unreleased Bannon who's pretending that he's on a different side. And why not release it if you did care, Bannon?
And
Why
let me
wouldn't you
say
release
this,
it?
Kurt. Let me say, again, no one's reporting on this. Yes, obviously Bannon is in the photographs. Bannon's also in the photographs with Noam Chomsky, who we talked about.
Well, that's the one. Yo, Due Dissidence, boys. Watch Due Dissidence. They're great. They kept showing that one because it's as gross as Carl Reiner kissing Rob Reiner on the lips.
On top of that,
Oh, wait. Okay, let me just read what Mark said. Hold on. My Nephilim assistant, Mark, just texted this. This is like Mark. I don't know why there's somebody that's got it in for Mark when, like, last week they were doing work next door on somebody's internet. I have Google, the worst service. So the internet kept dipping out, and they were like, if Mark can't get a line, you tell him to not. They always want to put it on Mark because he clearly is a Nephilim. He clearly is a bastard son of the fallen. Okay, wait. But hyper-Calvinism and millenarianism started in New England and spread through academia. Talk more about that, please.
Yeah, you guys are talking about how they want to accelerate sin to bring on this sort of,
Yes, Rasputin did it.
new judgment. This was really popular in the community that Yale University was born out of. They were all hyper Calvinists for the most part. They had several different sort of denominations.
They call themselves that, or you're calling them that?
No, that is what academics describe this specific Christian culture that started in parts of New England. It was that Calvinism already had this element of they kind of thought of themselves as hell's angels, or ordained to sin and cause evil because they're the elected elite. All of these ideas made their way into the consciousness of what became the blue bloods, the bloodlines of New England that spread from Harvard, Yale, and then of course founded all of the other universities. I mean, if you look at any university in the United States, there's a good chance the founder went to an Ivy League, whether it was in America or even England. And that was the case with Yale and Harvard. They were started by people who were educated at Cambridge and Oxford. So it's, again, this sort of Fabian socialism that was already being born over there, mixed with that Hegelian dialect that sort of got imbued into it in the 19th century. There's a lot of
I brought up on Jimmy yesterday, and Jimmy was like, oh, Kurt's going to say dialectic again. And of course I did, because that's what the left and right bullshit is. So if you're on the right, if you're like that kind of wrestling fan on the right, you are in a Hegelian, commie, occultist, dipshit thing. And that's why I don't trust fucking James Lindsay, because that motherfucker has studied this, and I've heard him talk about it in ways that shocked me, where I'm like, you're dipping into the Rick Overton window where I'm at, buddy. How do you not know what I know? If you looked up what I looked up better than me, which I assume you did because you're a real academic, how do you not know this other shit? And you're just like, but it's just the commies. It's just the left back in your pens. Right versus left forever. The dialectic. Back. Are you schizo or autistic? Oh, are you fucking forever? The only spectrum you're going to be allowed to have is your fucking gender, and then your body plan. You can be a crab or something when we have the tech for that. Right?
I mean, the gender. Oh, I'm muted.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy had to bounce. That's right. I felt bad. Everybody's always like, but the one guy didn't do anything. He hung out. It's important that you look at his channel, Jason, and Andy, look, because you got to compare notes. Andy has picked up so many interesting things. And then because I look into I'm going to tell you guys some creepy ass shit right now. Okay. Which is what I was going to talk about with Black Homie CC, because he actually knew about it, which is shocking. So remember the stupid Sound of Freedom movie, Jason Bermas, with that fucking fraud Mormon? That Mormon fraud, and then a dipshit Catholic fucking programmed Jesuit mind slave, James Caviezel. A Mary worshipping mind slave named James Caviezel. You know that guy? Played Jesus?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And he teamed up with a fucking Mormon DHS agent who's a fraud, who's a fucking fraud, by the way. And then remember Disney kept their movie on the shelf and didn't want to put it out?
Yeah.
And then we had the guy on Jimmy Dore show that explained what a piece of shit this guy is.
Tim Ballard.
Basically, instead of rescuing kids, he framed people, had nothing to do with it. I'm gonna summarize what this other guy said, but I believe this guy. Okay. Adrenochrome. People jabber about that nonstop, adrenochrome. Well, from what I could tell, and after the holiday, I'll have more info on it. That's a real chump level of shit to worry about. I already knew that part. I already knew that's you're missing the forest for the trees if you're focused on adrenochrome, because, as I like to say, they use every part of the buffalo, and you make hormones when you do all kinds of stuff that they can be made into useful concoctions for rich people. And people, you think they will hesitate? We know China's doing it, right? Because brave journalists are reporting how bad China is. Do you know what they're doing over there, Jason? You haven't heard about China.
Well, are we talking about the organ harvesting type stuff?
Well, that's just the thing we're doing. That's also, but they're not reporting it. But we're going to pretend China just does it.
Mm-hmm.
That's RFK, to his credit. Whatever he didn't get done, at least he's telling the truth about that.
Yeah, and you're talking about where you had the medical malpractice of harvesting organs from organ donors when they weren't dying or wouldn't necessarily not come out of it. Yeah, I've been talking about that for years, and yes, there was just that slight confirmation. Look, as far as this administration goes, RFK Jr. is the one that's knocking it out of the park. Far from perfect, but at least, and you talk about that Rick Overton window, it's not only shifted, there's actually things being done about it, and he's becoming more and more of a target because of it. I mean, even making the transgender surgeries for those under 18 illegal and now prosecutable criminally is a huge thing. People are fighting against that. These are just
Saudi Arabia is bad, though. Don't play Saudi Arabia. Don't play Saudi Arabia. They're bad. Here you have to fight to not mutilate minors' genitals Oh, the Muslims, you can't say. Here's, I'll be Bill Maher. Why don't you talk about Muhammad? Well, I'm a little more mad at, first of all, Bill. I'm a little angry at Jew-Hamid at the moment. So that's probably why. But another reason why is, hey, yeah, they are crazy and they go stupid hats and shit and they're dumb fucking. But did Saudi Arabia have a nationwide fight about if women have dicks or not? No, they didn't? Okay, well, I guess we suck. Fuck you.
I don't necessarily think you're wrong on that gender issue. I think that
MBS killed them 9/11 ones, right? The Saudis that helped with 9/11, wasn't MBS's first act was shaking them down for their shit and taking over? And that's why we didn't like him for a while, because that was George. Remember the guy that held hands with George W?
Yeah, Bandar Bush you're talking about. And Bandar's no longer with us. But that a lot of that clique, like you said, were kind of taken out via
MBS.
The MBS.
So, did America punish the American leaders involved in 9/11? No, but Saudi Arabia did. Isn't that wild that your country is less just than fucking Saudi Arabia? Aren't you ashamed? No. I'm going to go football. We haven't won a war in 80 years, losers. Hey, losers, we have Jocko Willink. Where you tell me how to be a man. Why don't you win a fucking war? Because we ain't won in 80 years. How's that possible?
Well,
with a military-industrial complex.
Mm-hmm. Well, the goal is not to win. And even WikiLeaks, again, not a lot of people have kind of forgotten about the Assange issue, WikiLeaks. The internal documents that were coming out via the, I think it was the Vault 7 dump was part of it, where they talked about, or it might have actually been the Iraq war dump, where the video of the them taking out civilians, that's the one that went viral. They talked about perpetual war and not winning and making it profitable again and again and again.
They say it now to your face. See, Jason, you before I knew anything, dude, you were onto this, okay? But here's the main thing. At Twilight Language, Michael Hoffman, what a great book, man. What a great book, because now I don't think this is necessarily Twilight Language, but I bet you I'm right that it is. Yeah, book's great. I gave it to Duncan to read after I finished. It's a NLP. It's mental programming language. Sure. It comes from India, which is why British dipshits love Indian bullshit. They love a nice caste system, British royalty, right? Those people know. And, hey, we have, remember how we're flooded with autistics and people that can't believe what's going on? So that's autists and schizos. Remember Temple Grandin could think like a cow because she was autistic? Remember her TED Talk? You think that might be useful to the powers that be? People that only 30% of them ever drive a car. Only 30%, they buy all the products. They think like a cow. You don't think that might be useful to somebody at a chemical company from a bloodline to fucking mutate people over time because Jeff, fluoride, dude. That's the one that only crazy people thought was poison. And guess it turns out it was poison the whole time. It's chemical waste. And that's one I would dismiss. Oh, come on. No, just the fluoride thing alone, you should never vote again. You should never participate. You should really, everybody should be out in the street, like in Belgium after the Marc Dutroux case, scaring the shit out of the lizards because of that. But no, you're not gonna. That's why I don't even believe in these mass shooters, any of them being real, because what a gutless population. First of all, that doesn't help to just kill other people for no reason. So no, who would do that? That's why I don't believe it. I believe they programmed it to get us disarmed like they did. Anyway, Bondi Beach. Bondi Beach, that tragic, definitely not a false flag from Israel, even though Candace predicted it. And we reported on Jimmy 2 months ago that Bibi Netanyahu was threatening it. And then it happens at Bondi Beach. Now, why would it happen there, do you think, Jason? Well, I think because they're losing real bad and they need Americans to give a fuck about an Australian shooting, right? And how will they do it? And especially the Jewish diaspora, which is just regular Jews who don't like Israel anymore because they saw the kids, they lost the next generation from looking at TikTok.
There was one at Brown University, right?
That's a plasma physics thing. That's different. But I mean, it's all connected, but that's the other one. This one, Bondi. So I wouldn't give a fuck. Dude, I don't even remember all the shootings in America. How the fuck I give a fuck about Australia? But Bondi, that sounds like Pam Bondi. That's called resonance. Just a memory thing. It sounds magical, but it's not. Just a memory thing. So that's how you plan your false flag. We need to pick a spot where someone in America, oh, oh, Bondi.
So-
Well, you mentioned
Muslims.
you mentioned neurolinguistics programming, NLP, and word association is a large part of that through preparation and just again, it's in your subconscious, but then it
I took Andrew
resonates.
Tate's War Room class. I know how to do it. I was in Andrew Tate's inner circle, sir. So don't tell me.
I'm sorry for you if you were really in Andrew Tate's inner circle.
I'm about to learn the ultimate secret of pussy getting and webcam running, but
is it all being a sociopath millionaire and abusing women and young girls and being a pedophile? Is that what that is?
You didn't know his dad was a chess player?
Yeah.
Also
Well, he's a CIA guy too. CIA
And
contract.
people go, he's probably lying. I like people think someone's lying when they say that they were, and sometimes people are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't believe Steven Seagal. Well, Mark might know different, actually. But, the CIA will work with pedophiles, assholes. You ever hear of Jeffrey Epstein that they're covering shit up for? They're the central intelligence agency. So the idea that some other agency did it and they don't know, that's bullshit. They just compartmentalize people into retarded. So go watch this Jimmy Dore, me and Kariaku, because I brought up all these things like that. And Carrie was like, yeah, that's true. But he don't see the picture I see. And that's because you're being picked and trained to not do that. So that's why I'll have Andy come in and just whatever, because everybody's got to stop being in their lane. That's why I want Big Homie CC. Everybody's got to watch the black shit and the white shit and the Asian shit. You got to look at all of it because we got to compare notes or there's no getting out of it,
Mm-hmm.
Another element of the Twilight language is mystical toponymy, and Brown University, actually, to connect it back to what you brought me on to talk about, hyper-Calvinists were fascinated with the Old Testament, obviously the Kabbalah, as you like to call it, Kurt.
That's the right way to say it.
The first rabbi to ever come to the New World came to Brown University when Brown University was founded essentially back in the colonial days. So Rhode Island had a reputation in the colonies as a sort of like more progressive colony. They didn't impose themselves on the Native Americans the same way the other colonies did, and they also invited freed slaves to come to Rhode Island. So Rhode Island's always been a sort of we can call maybe leftist sort of leaning place.
I would call it the bloodline leaning. Just look, all the secret societies you hear about, the names don't really fucking matter. Illuminati is mostly for black people now. Okay, like Ciroc. That's how I look at it. People that are into that, they don't call it that. They call themselves illumined ones, and they belong to several societies. Like getting in a good school where you wear a cap and gown like a fucking wizard. Did anybody ask about why they're doing that? So what people don't get, it's not one thing that's off. The whole thing you live in, the whole wonderful Western civilization that I'm supposed to defend from the muzzies. Although they weren't moving here till you assholes went over there and dicked their countries up. But let's put that aside because I'm young and I don't like other, I'm a fat autistic and I'm jealous that black guys' dicks that I heard about. I'm watching this retardation online. Okay? So here's how those groups work. You get in the frat or in the whatever, and most of them are all that all the allegory of the Freemasons, whoever, and those their memberships are dwindling for quite some time. They do mass initiation now. That's what the UFO thing is. Just think of that. We're all in Scientology, all of us. I mean, I don't mean Jason. He knew stuff before me, but America, it's a mystery school. The mystery religions were not called mystery schools until Madame Blavatsky from Theosophy, but that's what this is, and you get mass initiated. So that's what a king kill move is. It's Kenny's dead, and then look at all that shit you just showed me from Epstein, where they leave clues like an ARG. Look what they do, so now I'm initiating people. The whole goal is this fucking Scooby-Doo bullshit. That's the whole goal, and meanwhile. Just like you've heard someone that doesn't believe in any gods of any kind, and they're a fucking secular materialist say, it's who your bloodline is at the end of the day. So you join the club. They go, what could I use you for? Like Departed, If you give me a tuber, I'll get something out of it. That if you're a psychopath, they'll use you for some shit, but you're not gonna unless you're blood. And if you're a muggle, you ain't going to the top of the fucking Rosy Cross or none of that shit. The only reason those things exist is to get your genetic information to find out if I'm going to harvest you or I'm going to bring you into the thing.
And let me just say this, because you mentioned The Departed. For those that don't know, the Jack Nicholson character, who's working with the FBI as an informant the entire time as a boss, is based on Whitey Bulger.
Yeah,
and
right.
For those that don't know about Whitey Bulger, yes, he did that. Yes, he was a mass murderer. They found bodies excavated.
You tell me that you know
concrete
with people that don't know about this.
Well, there are people that don't know that he was part of the initial MK Ultra program. I think it was.
Oh, yes. Well, it's one of them things you always hear, because that's why he hated drugs, because they put so much LSD in him at Alcatraz. And like every other one of these criminals you see about, first of all, think of how many people, Unabomber, Kaczynski, Manson, who do we know that was in the fucking things? Like a lot of them. And that's the ones they admit to, that they make movies about. Now imagine like making movies about all these guys and imagining that the MK Ultra part's the least important part, which is where it stands now, and how I would have thought about it before I started looking into UFOs, and it led me into the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Well, you know,
looking at UFOs.
we were talking earlier about NASA astronauts, and I was kind of alluding to the fact
They're all
that
Freemason.
I suspect that a lot of them went through mind control type programs, and people look at me kind of funny, but think about it. First of all, they're having extensive G forces put against their body, so they're getting knocked out constantly. Just to fly, for instance, like the spy planes, like the Ox cart, and they actually show you this in the latest Top Gun, you have to be decompressed, right? So you're literally isolated for like 2 to 3 hours as your body gets used to just that. Are you telling me there might not be something running in their audio again and again and again?
100% you have to figure that. It's fully possible that every single time you hear about a thing, it was just programmed into their head in the basement at NASA rather than at the launch pad. You have to consider that. You have to. What I think, though, and this is my soul, I wouldn't call this evidence. See how I don't go with math? Because I'm on the schizo side. I'm not like Scott Horton. We're arguing about how they blew up Tower 7. Scott, I don't give a shit. I don't care how they killed Charlie Kirk, if it was a palm gun or a drone did it or an exploding lav. And you see how people fight about stupid spurg shit like that?
The minutia.
That only a fucking coward nerd who doesn't want to look at the big picture because they're a fat nerd looks. I don't know who I'm yelling at. Okay. You got to look at who benefits, also in The Departed. It's all in The Departed, everyone. Huey Bono, who benefits. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that is, okay? There's no reason we all had to watch him die, except for Mark for some reason, because he's one of the chosen bloods, because he's 6'8". He's what they call the tall whites. And okay, we all had to watch that so that we could internalize it. And then the other part, I saw a leftist kill Charlie Kirk in uppercase and lowercase letters for some reason. Everyone posted that shit. Did you see that?
No. I
Oh,
didn't see
dude.
that.
Well, my fucking Twitter is lousy with Hasbara for some reason. And so your Laura Loomer types and your fucking fake named Italian fake Christians that are an IDF guy's bot are saying, and they spell it weird, like this capital and lowercase. I saw a leftist kill Charlie Kirk. I didn't see that. I saw him die, which I didn't want to see. I'm kind of mad that you made me look at it. Also, nothing they're saying makes sense of the official story. So before you tell me Candace is a liar, I don't care if she's a liar. I know you're lying to me, fuck faces. It was obvious the second you even opened your mouths, and everyone calling Candace a liar isn't telling me her lies.
So
They're just telling me don't trust Candace. Be specific, please.
yeah, and I'm kind of I am specific when I say, hey, I don't know about this, and I'm looking at this, and
That's
I can't.
right.
Yeah.
If you weren't Jason, you don't see Ashton Forbes on here. I did his orb show.
Well, let me
Right?
say this: you just
No, well, plasma's real, and so now from the Malaysian plane, what I've learned from talking to Ashton Forbes and seeing what he is that Israel blew that plane up is what the real story is. And the reason I know that's what the story is because he went from talking about plasma physics and this orb shit that they do have, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. Plasma is the fourth state of matter. And I didn't learn about that with gas, liquid, and solid. None of us did. They classified a section of physics for 80 years. That is the truth.
Yeah.
But who was on the plane? Bunch of Chinese anti-gravity people, okay? And the plane went in a black hole. Ashton don't talk about orbs no more. He talks about how Tucker Carlson is bad. and Candace is losing it, and that's all he talks about. And then he tries to, when I go, Ashton, go ahead, just talk to the guy. He tries to gaslight me like I didn't know that he's an orb guy.
Ashton follows me. I've never interacted with him, but I was going
Where's
to
he from? I can't find nothing on him.
I don't know much. Again, I'm hesitant. I remember when those videos came out initially. I was one of the first people. I think I did a video on it.
There's truth in those videos, but why are you telling me the truth? It's like Putin wants you to know about this. Well, that's okay. Putin can let me know the truth, but that don't mean I trust Putin.
I was always extremely skeptical with that stuff, but you brought up, the influencer thing and the Israel thing.
Joseph P. Farrell, you got to look into him.
I know. Actually, I don't probably know more about that than you do.
I bet.
I'm going to go to Laura Loomer for a second. Okay.
Larry? No, I'm joking.
So,
I don't know that she might have just been ugly, guys. Come on.
Loomer. I've known about Loomer since her inception because she was involved with some of the early, but later We Are Change stuff. The reason I'm bringing her up is she also follows me on X and I follow her. Now, I saw her make a post about Nexium, this other very bizarre sex cult where you had Keith Raniere. You had the Bronfman sisters, one of which is still on the lam. Sarah Bronfman left the country, and she was never prosecuted. The other Bronfman sister funded all of the lawyers, including for Raniere. And she's going to be out soon, that Bronfman, but Raniere's never getting out. And there was a lot of evidence, a ton. Not only did they have this weird sex cult here, they had the Rainbow Cultural Garden with younger children. They were involved with the Salinas family, which is the ex-president of Mexico, his son in particular, and they all had these green things on. It was very bizarre. So I'd followed it and reported on it for years. She put something out basically claiming that was all a setup and that the FBI had fabricated evidence in that case. So I saw that post, and I'm not here to cut throats, throw stones. I don't know what she said about it. So I said, okay, well, I've been following this case for years. I mentioned just a couple of things I did there. What was fake? What? And she's just sent me her article. She actually did respond, to her credit. I read her article. In the article, it seems apparent that, the FBI fabricated something, but they never, at least the FBI, at least in some kind of admission, show you what was fabricated, alleges what was fabricated. And I wonder if it's just something there to spoil the pot. So eventually when the other Bronfman comes back, they don't have to go to jail. It's not that it wasn't happening. It's that the FBI actually screwed up the investigation on purpose so that there would be a technicality later. Not that these people are innocent. Look, there's no reason to trust the FBI, but I followed that case. And that case only made its way to the FBI, much like the Epstein case, because of local news reports. Actually, at the Times-Union in Albany, which was a local, I was upstate New York guy. I would see this stuff. And they were the only people reporting on it for years. So, again, you have to ask yourself, who is an honest, quote-unquote, actor when it comes to these online media personalities that gravitate up to the upper echelons now, where you have a chance at being not only an advisor to Trump and being on a plane, but you could be in the administration like Kash Patel or Dan Bongino. It's a very odd world, right? And let me just say this, now it's almost 3 years. This year, not as much because the election is over and the tour is over. I got to see kind of up close and personal via the Reawaken America tour behind the scenes.
You went to it.
I did 10 of them.
Did you see Mooney's there? That's the fucking connection to really worry about, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, obviously you have the evangelical Christians.
They're all fake. They're all connected to the Moonies. They're all CIA. They're all fake.
I like Clay Clark a lot.
Don't know him.
He's the one that put it on. But I spent a lot of time around General Michael Flynn, Kash Patel before he was there.
Flynn's an MK fucking handler, and so is McChrystal, and he's in the McChrystal network. You know how I know? Because there are countless victims of those fucks, and they told me, and I didn't believe them. And then I watch the shit pop up about him, and I know it's real. That fucking group, that Reawaken, that's where Kash Patel met his fake beard. His fake fucking.
She follows me on X too, bro.
Yeah.
And I think I might have interviewed her during my time with Patriot.tv and them setting it up. I probably ran into her at these things. My most surreal moment, and I don't know if I've mentioned it on air with you. My most surreal moment was I was in Detroit, And it wasn't the last one I did. I did another one in North Carolina, but I think it was like the second last one. And it was like it was in a Walmart parking lot. So it was like almost like a mall type thing. And you walked in, it was kind of a mall, and then like a 2,000 person seater for like a mega church. But there's a coffee shop and whatever. And I'm walking by the main stage. I opened this one too. I gave a 40-minute presentation right next to Michael Flynn.
Is that the transhuman thing?
Yes.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Revelation of the method.
Yes.
You're a human disclaimer for them.
So I'm crossing it, and I look up, and I see Daryl Strawberry holding hands with two women and Rudy Giuliani in deep Christian prayer. And I'm just like, you know.
So you know what that tells me?
What's that
in
tell
my
you?
travels, Jason?
What?
Strawberry's Monarch athlete, 100%. He was in Monarch.
Mm-hmm.
They just put out a movie called Him, all about what they do with the athletes and why they do it. It's kind of vague, and people who like football don't like it because, you know, it's actually almost a documentary of how it works. Yo, those assholes are sitting in Mother Moon's. Remember North Korea, the bad Korea?
Yeah. My buddy's there right now. He goes there. I have a buddy that goes on North
Here's
Korean
a fact
tours.
your buddy probably knows. The higher rate of suicide is in fucking South Korea because it's just North Korea with lights.
Well,
so we all heard how bad North Korea is, but South Korea, the Korean CIA, and the CIA to fight communism, they, first of all, you either worship the Samsung guy, the guy from Datsun, maybe not Datsun, but you know them Korean companies.
I know what you're talking about.
It's a banana republic. It's not even, dude, it's nuts. It's everything you think is bad about North Korea is South Korea with more shit to digitally. North Korea has to old-fashioned spy compared to the spying that South Korea does, is how I look at them now. Oh, the lights are off. When you look at a satellite, you know there's no lights on in the country, blasting them with fucking harmful shit you shouldn't have on at night.
My buddy, he does a thing called the Young Pioneer Tours, where you can't be a social media influencer, but if you're not, and you're just kind of like you're a journalist, if you're a regular person, he takes about a dozen people there a year, and sometimes twice a year. He's been doing it almost a decade.
Do you think I should go and preach the Bible to them?
No, he's not. He's not a Christian.
You
know what? He works in the trauma industry, bro. He works on like those, like that. What's that drive-in with whatever guy? You know, that horror fucking thing.
Yeah, Jack Amico used to work for trauma. Jack Amico was in Gate, same as me, but he remembers it, and he had a Ghostbusters set up with the shit on his head in the card. Yeah, Doc Amico. Yep.
Small world.
Anyway,
out there.
Mother Moon, Sun Young Moon's creepy son. Vice did a left-wing report on it about how Trump is bad, and Trump is bad, but they're all part of it. His son wears a crown of bullets and has a camouflage jacket and lives in Pennsylvania. And so Vice's thing is that he promotes guns. Don't ever let go of your guns, assholes, everyone. Boy, did I think that was a gun nut thing of they want to disarm you so they can do this and that. I'm like, that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I was way off on that one. Don't you ever allow that. The NRA is compromised. Fuck them.
I mean, they put Oliver North as the head of the NRA. The guy we were talking about earlier. That was part of like the Black Ops drug dealing program.
They compromise everything. Do not trust the institutions ever. Now, I just trust Jason Berma over here because since I've been on Jimmy's show and I'm so traumatized by the fucking news, dude. Okay? The beautiful time when I'd be like, I don't care about loose change. That beautiful times, those are gone to me now, Jason. Okay?
You mean when you first met me and were cracking jokes when I said
no, when I met you, I was like, oh, that guy was probably right. I was well into it by the time I met you. Okay? But the bottom line is, it took me, this is what I'm really upset, and I'm dressed like an idiot and doing it because I don't understand. I'm not that smart. I'll tell you my brain dick size if you want to know my IQ. It's exactly 138. I've been tested twice. 138.
Okay.
So that's smart. It is not like any kind of genius. In fact, it's just smart enough to be dissatisfied, but not fully grasp why, is how I feel. But by the way, IQ is horseshit. It's to know who's retarded and who's not. That's what the fuck IQ is for. So, don't even get hung up on that, racists. The point is, I'm not that fucking crazy smart, dude. For some reason, I'm just noticing some shit that any stupid motherfucker that takes a shit and owns a phone could find out. They're just not gonna.
Yeah.
like anyone could hear your facts because you're real good on it. They're just not gonna look, dude. Big homie CC, I'll hear him out about a Bigfoot thing. He saw a stuffed Bigfoot from one of these guys, rich guys. He said, "Yeah, them big boys are real." And he's like, "What the fuck?" That's the last crazy story he told. After a lot of stories that had nothing to do with anything with Bigfoot.
Okay. Wouldn't it
So
be
I'll hear 'em
wild
out.
if you got to be like at the human, like you're at the elite club, and all of a sudden they give you like the Batman bookshelf, and you go down, and it's not just like stuffed Bigfoots, but it's like also human beings and taxidermy. And here's Colonel.
All right,
What's
Mark,
his name?
listen. Because the time's getting short, and I
Yep.
gotta do super chats because I keep forgetting to do that. So, Mark, get your tall ass on and talk with Jason because I gotta pee real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, hold on one second. One second. But
Well, Mark, I'll tell you
anything,
that
Mark, that you've been holding in. Mark, by the way, Mark is a valuable repository of.
I've done a show.
arcane
I've been
knowledge.
on My Family Thinks I'm Crazy before. We've
No,
known
Mark
each other for
knows
years.
a lot. Mark knows a lot of shit that shocks me. I mean, it really does.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes Kurt will text me stuff and he'll be like, you know, just I could tell he's like on a binger researching, and then he'll be like, "Yeah, what do you think?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? It's pretty crazy, Kurt, you know, like." But yeah, Jason.
A
you're
lot
the
of
man.
people ask me that
Listen to it.
same thing, right? Like they ask me how I can be so like cool, calm, and collected when I describe this stuff, or doesn't this bother me? And the thing is that the initial trauma that I felt after 9/11, there was nothing that even came close to that, and I was just so early in the game there that even before social media took off, when it was just kind of like forums where people were attacking you and there were certain debunkers before fact checkers, you just either grow a thick skin or you don't, right? And you just either have a level of acceptance on what you can change and what you can't change. And especially right now where, you know, we keep talking about the Rick Overton window. That window is shifted significantly, at least during the Trump era. I think that's the net positive of the Trump era. At the same time, I think, you know, there are a lot of people that came into the information very rapidly and then wanted to believe in superheroes, right? And so they gravitated to fantasy and QAnon nonsense, and people are going to save us. People are now turning back from that after COVID 1984, after Trump's reaction to the Epstein files. And you know what? Just because Kurt's gone for a minute, and I could show some work here for a second as he comes back
Well,
in.
were you guys going to hide from me something?
No, I mean, I was totally going to hide it from you. I just wanted to mention, you know, a lot of people out there are showing Epstein and the IDF shirt, right? What they're not showing.
Oh, what a mind blower of a revelation.
But again, what they're not showing you is that in his closet, he had 5 NYPD outfits. And right here, he's wearing one of those NYPD outfits.
Dude, can you imagine getting pulled over by Epstein?
Oh, my goodness. But it's
Epstein,
not.
if you're alive still and you can hear me, you should do that. That would be a cool story to have. I get pulled over and it's Epstein. What would you do about that, dude? You'd be
You know who else
paralyzed.
liked to drive around and play police officer? John Wayne Gacy. John
That's
Wayne
right.
Gacy.
Well, but he was a member of the Royal Order of Jesters and the Freemasons. And what do you think? He's the only guy that does stuff to boys in that group? All these serial killers, all of them. They're out of some fucking group. Nobody wants to understand how bad it is. But, dude, I can't believe you went to Reawaken America. I just can't believe.
I spoke there, again, about 10 times.
I
I
know.
went to a ton.
You know what? I didn't realize that's what because I didn't know all this shit about it at the time. But
Yeah.
the NAR, that's a new apostolic reformation.
Uh-huh.
And they're part of that. And the Seven Mountains Dominionism, you hear the libs crying about Dominionism, but they're not wrong to because it's fucking batshit. But the thing is, the high up libs are on the same side as that. And they're all of them. Oh, it's like one of them's called Morning Star Church. You know, yeah.
I know all
yeah.
about the Morning Star. I mean,
yeah.
you
So
know,
they're all
George Bush was
Luciferian
big
things.
on the
Yeah,
Morning
yeah.
Star and the 1,000 Points of Light. The senior loved the Morning Star.
Yes, he did. And that was in Kathy O'Brien's book that I dismissed in the 90s. Oh, we're all talking about Diddy now, and we're all talking about this and that. Yo, go read her book. And by the way, we had her on Jimmy. She still thinks Trump is going to turn it around.
I know. Well, she's hanging out with Roseanne Barr a bunch. And Roseanne was on that trip.
Okay, dude.
Just so you know, she was there a lot. Roseanne Barr was there.
I
That's where I
warned
met
Roseanne
Brewer.
about Flynn when on her birthday card. I go, Roseanne, don't trust Flynn. But she told me I went to her house for Thanksgiving. It was the best, dude. It was just me and her talking shit, because she's like a kid. Like Jake is like, oh, you guys, you go smoke weed on the porch, and so we're just sitting there talking shit. but I didn't have enough knowledge at the time to really understand what she was saying. She told me she was raised Mormon and Orthodox Jewish.
Oh, that's a
And
combo.
I go, that's weird. She goes, yeah, but I didn't know what I know now. So let me tell you what that means. That means when she talked about multiple personalities in the 90s, she wasn't lying. That's what it means.
Yeah.
And that her parent, ain't no Orthodox Jews going to pretend to be Mormons. But now that I know Mormons are basically a cover for a fucking coven, much like the one I grew up in, Jehovah's Witnesses, the Russell family. That's a bloodline. I've had content. No, Blair White Russell was on the show. She went to school in the dude. It's crazy. It's stuff you wouldn't believe until you see it. I got another guy I'm going to have on, and he was in the Jehovah's, but because he was born on an eclipse, and his mother also was born on an eclipse, and his grandmother also was born on an eclipse. What a crazy coincidence. Like the 27 Club in music. Just because of that, that's a big deal, and the coven's going to take notice of that. In fact, the reason you'd be born on that day is because really, really wealthy up there people plan their births the way Alexander the Great and Jesus' family did, right? They're afraid of, they are all these people above the science people, and you were at Reawaken America, so you're around people that know this shit. I promise you they do. I promise you. They know this shit real deep. And they're real into astrology. Like Reagan loved astrology, and Nancy and Hillary channeled Eleanor. They're all into it. It's all a lie that they're secular. No, they are not. Because think of how crazy, think what it takes to lead, Jason. What a crazy person. You'd have to be like Trump, Janus, a two-faced Roman god, where you say one thing and have to go back on it, and you're known as the guy. That must really, Dan Bongino can't take it. He could do more good on the outside now. At the block. Paywall the Epstein content, Dan. That's my recommendation. Paywall all the Epstein truths you saw. So these assholes are running a play, okay? And it's becoming more obvious by the day, and it's written about, just how you say the externalization of the hierarchy by Alice Bailey, where you get that Lucius Trust in the UN, they had that church. Oh, you talked about it. Okay. That's what that is. So Tragedy and Hope will give you the secular, not religious part, because it's written by a secular guy who thinks this is great, who doesn't understand that dark occultists came up with it. Then you got your Alice Bailey and Theosophy, the Sun Young Moon, the Unification Church. All those assholes at Reawaken America are part of this. They get money from them. They do this mixing of the waters ceremony. But what's it for? To unite us in one world religion, the thing the crazies warned us about. Because, and by the way, they're not on schedule with this. No. You could see in the panic. But we're going towards the Noahide techno state. It's like Venetian city state, but all these weird wizards, none of them are Jews or Christians or anything they say. They're all fucking Baal worshipers or some shit. Something fucking retarded. They're like cock worshipers. All of them, when they tell you about Revelation, it's not because of prophecy, it's because they view it as a script, like a Shakespeare play. And they're going to put on their play again pretty soon, and they're planning on it. And whoever's in charge, because this is a Raj state, whatever this shit, that's who's putting the play on. And they're going to, and they've probably done it many times. And you can tell a liar the second they're telling you some racist fucking shit is part of it, where you got to like hate your fellow man. That's a fucking liar. When they try to make you go left or right, that's a liar. When they try to do that, it don't matter if they're even in on it. It don't matter. They're trying to fucking push the wrong. I'm telling you, everybody's got to get out of the dialectic. If you hate commies, don't do dialectic, because they own you, asshole. And by the way, Wall Street, if communism didn't exist, capitalism would have to invent it. That's my version of the Satan thing. Mm-hmm. Capitalism has to invent communism. And until people look, it's like when I saw ECW and I saw Raven and I saw the Sandman get in the same van after the match in Philly, and I go, you know what? I bet Raven didn't kidnap Sandman's son and take him to Japan, and they're settling it with wrestling. I bet. Do you see what I'm saying about I'm not smart, Jason? Yes. You don't got to be smart. Mm-hmm. You got to not be emotionally programmed. That's it. And your shit, dude, I think you're a dude who, one of the longest running not getting credits for his shit guys I think I've ever seen in the history of this shit. So I'm glad you could fill in for Big Homie CC, dude, because that's good of you. Really, you should be a first choice and not a second. It's not that you're a second choice. It's just that I just had to call somebody to come in. Mm-hmm. All right. I got to do some super chats.
Sure.
Somebody said communism's invented by the Zionists. No, it wasn't, idiot. Okay, hold on. Yo, I corrected Candace Owens on Jimmy's show. You can go see the record. She tried to say that the Soviets invented concentration camps.
No.
That's right. Well, she don't say it no more.
Okay.
How I look at Candace is, she's been looking into shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Candace, as you look into shit, watch your back because you're surrounded by the same kind of people as Charlie Kirk was surrounded by. And what they're going to do is they're going to pit it so it's a MILF battle, which is we're in it now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to make the things that I knew before you knew it, they're going to make it your issue. So now it's a Candace Owens. Which MILF do you like better? People that I know that I like, and I'm not calling them idiots, but they are idiotic about this. Okay.
Gotcha.
But I get it.
With the Candace thing, I'd also say she's gotten some things incredibly wrong. She defended Conor McGregor.
Weinstein and McGregor.
Yeah, and I watched her interview with Weinstein. It was ridiculous. For somebody that had just been on a tangent talking about the IDF, Israel, Mossad, she didn't mention Black Cube,
She's
Israeli
an adult conversion. Okay, look, here's what Jimmy Now if she lies, I'll be the first one to tell you she's lying.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy likes her, because
I don't dislike her. I'm just saying she's gotten stuff wrong. And with that Weinstein interview, I don't know how you don't ask the basic questions about Black Cube and the surveillance of your quote unquote victims.
Yeah, Nick, tell me about Nick Kroll's dad that stalked Rose McGowan, who I think her story with Weinstein didn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like, I froze, and he carried me. Oh, is Weinstein a programmer? And you were in that Children of God cult. Remember the Children of God?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they do? They switch the kids with different moms. You know who else does that? Really rich people, and Shia LaBeouf's mom probably did it. And if you don't believe that broad who says she's an Epstein niece, I believe her because now maybe she knows some facts and she's constructing a lie out of facts she knows. That could be. But I know things that correlate with her. So, like I said, the facts are the facts outside of who's telling them. We all know that. Don't go by a high school popularity contest. Okay, wait. Let me read these because I'm bad at this. Like I said, it's the Derp. It's not the well-run podcast with Kurp. Jason Bermas has to do the graphics for me. The guest, is that good? Is that a good way to do a podcast? No. Okay. Flick off 1872. About time you got Jason, and now you can enlighten him on the Kirk situation. Bermas Brigade. Well, I got to talk to him again because Giorgiani is picking up on something. There are two sides. One wants us to be that hell transhuman future kind of thing where it's like utterly satanic, and one wants us to be techno-hide Noah state. Noah-hide state. And reduce us to being primitive and farmers. And that's why they're pushing flat earth. The Jesuits and the Zionists are the fucking I'm not calling them the top, but that's why Candace is going to have someone on that she shouldn't have on, because the Jezzies and the Zios are in on it. That's why you don't trust Nick Fuentes. That's why you don't trust Catholics that say the Jews.
Well, let me just say something here crazy. And Fuentes is big on this, and I've seen people glom onto it. This idea that women shouldn't vote. I'm like, that is the most ridiculous. First of all, if you don't know a woman who is politically more astute than one of your male
job.
friends.
I don't vote. Let women do that.
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous that you wouldn't want an entire half of our species.
He's purposely putting that shit in there, just like all these fake groups.
Yeah.
Like I said, a real science fact that you should look at. Oh, from flatearth.com. So do you see that it's such an easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
To discredit a thing with one thing because people are emotional and they don't fucking read. That's just what it is. So he has never once. I warned Ian Carroll that he was no fucking good, and I warned Sam Hyde. I'm not rubbing it on Sam Hyde because Sam Hyde, his show is fucking tremendous.
I love Sam Hyde's show. I think, and my buddy Jay Dyer works on
feminist dude. But
I know you just did Dyer. Yeah.
What?
I know you just did Jay Dyer's show recently.
Yeah, not long ago, but. Stop welcoming Fuentes you fucking idiot. Fuentes, he's there to stink you up. That's what he's been there. And I know Sam knows the truth. I know Ian knows because Ian online was fighting with Fuentes about if Israel killed Charlie Kirk. And Fuentes finds that preposterous. Isn't that weird? A guy who's so hateful towards Jews, he's like, where's the evidence? So Jews did everything but that to you, Nick. So now do you see when I'm telling you these people are no good fuckers? Okay. Dude, that feminist meetings that Sam did is one of the funniest fucking things. It's them talking about the future of feminism.
I haven't seen it. Haven't
Okay,
seen
the sketch goes too long by sketch rules.
Uh-huh.
But the only reason you could say a sketch too long because it's my investment versus the payoff. The payoff of it, I don't want to spoil it. It's so fucking funny, dude. But I don't know if people have the attention span to watch the whole thing. But it's one of the most brilliant endings to a sketch I've ever fucking seen, and it justifies the length of time the sketch took. So that's like real art. Okay. About time you got Jason. Blah blah blah. Epstein didn't off himself justice for Jeffrey. That's all I've ever wanted. That's all I've ever. I've been upfront about that. The only reason I'm in this is what's best justice for Jeffrey. Okay. I can't come with a K, coom, unless I know someone is saving my data. Yeah, I jerk off in Waymos for that very reason. I want Chinese to watch me. I want me to watch what I'm working with because it ain't nothing no Chinaman's got. Not even Yao Ming. You'd have to chop up a bunch of Uyghurs and put them back together in a weird way to get a fuck. Anyway. Nice fucking graphic, man. Might have Clippy. Remember Clippy? I almost missed Big Peepee Copernicus. By the way, Daddy, did you know DD does a podcast that covers a lot of cultist stuff? No, I don't know. I'll look at it. I'll look at that though. I want to get Amaruka Uncovered guy on. You know who that is? He knows America's named after Amaru, whoever he is, and he knows Mark Passio's work very well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's worth watching. Let's see. Watch. I think it's Amaru. I'm not spelling right, but the K is like capitalized. But he has a whole thing about the humiliation ritual of Andrew Tate, who lost. And I got Cool Hand James, who I find hysterical, has a funny ass video about it. But just before you talk about humiliation rituals, everyone, your entire fucking life is one long humiliation ritual before you judge, John Cena. Your fucking life is that, and you're taught to blame other poor people, just so you know. Why do you think people want to be famous so bad? Because they know their normal life is going to be one long humiliation ritual from fucking lizards, and you're going to be focused on the celebs. It's just a beautiful system they've created, isn't it?
Lovely.
I appreciate you and Jimmy's argument. It shows you guys are real people. Oh yeah, and not just two bots. Yeah, it also shows we're old because younger people can't take a raised voice. But Jimmy's older than me, from Chicago, 12 Irish kids. So I didn't even register that as a fight in any way. That's just what you do is yell about Jimmy said it right. It's like that Mike and the Mad Dog or something, like a sports show. How can you say that? How can you say that? It was like that. If Jimmy wasn't on the level, I would work there. I don't give a fuck about nothing like that. Dude, I don't care about my fucking career. You are such a cunt if you care about your career. And all these kids, it makes me sad watch him. He just destroyed his career. Yeah, it's all that's valuable about you. I guess all that's left now is a transition to a different gender because there's nothing left for you. If your career, come on, man. All right, Kurp, we'd love to see you on No Way Jose channel. I like the name. They got me on OKC bombing, tomfoolery. That is an old story that Jason probably knows all about. We'd love to catch a live second in Oklahoma. Has your beliefs changed finding all-powerful belief in weird stuff for a long time? Yes, my beliefs have changed radically, and every time I think I'm close to getting a handle on it, I hear a fucking horrible new thing that fucking makes it like bigger than I thought it was. So it's not a rabbit hole. It's a gaping. It's Charlie Sheen's gaped asshole on when he was being initiated before he brought the Haim boy into the club. Okay. Super sticker, thanks. I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it. Kurp, would love to see you. Oh, they saw that. We're the Derp with Kurp t-shirts. We're working on them. We got them coming. Okay, that's on Mark actually. That one, but come on, get off Mark's back. Mark, get off your gangly Spider Tuffet and get Bill Binney and Dr. Catherine Horton on. Maybe easier said than done. He maybe have been completely melted by a beam weapon by this time, because when I heard they were using that shit on him, and I didn't understand it was the truth at the time, me and Jimmy were like, what the fuck? But no, they did that to him for sure, because he fucked over the NSA good, and good for him doing that. That makes me sad. I would love to get him. If you know a way, let me know, because I'm afraid he's fucking a puddle by now, what they're doing to him. And that guy did a good thing. All right.
You know who could put you in touch with him, Kurt? You've been on Tragedy and Hope. I know that they've done some sit-down. Yeah, Richard Andrew Grove.
Dr. Rabbi Grove.
Yeah, he could probably help you out on that.
My Rabbi Richard Grove? Okay.
Yes.
I texted him too. Burma was the first one to get back at me when I texted for. Okay. Here's that Tracy Tryman stuff. It's on Patreon. Like you say, many sources. This dude has some good info. Starts at 117. But okay. I'm going to check that out. Tracy Twyman Look at her research, dude, because it's a complete non-believer diving into the world doing things that you would never do, Jason.
Okay.
Like doing a Ouija board to see what happens. Okay, would you do that?
Probably not.
Yeah, no, that's what she said. She goes, atheists won't do it, and people that believe are like, I'm not doing that, so no one will do it. So how is she supposed to see if it's real? And she, with no, I mean, it's like a horror movie, watching her go further. Then she gets a dream to build a better Ouija board, and she does, like an easier to communicate one, like an AI, making a better AI in her head. Dude, it's terrifying. And you're like, don't do that, Tracy. And Chris Knowles is on it. And it was real sad at the end because she stopped doing the Ouija thing. Then she let the internet get to her, which is the same fucking, you could scale that. The tech, dude, all the tech shit is just a version of demons talking to you. And they love this shit. That's what all these tech freaks are all into, weird cults. Real gross. Three-way derp with Kurp is the best format. Maybe, I don't know. I have to be a better, at this. Uppercase, lowercase, SpongeBob meme reference. I don't know the reference, but I think you said something about them being clowns. A spontaneous Metzger's incurred wholesome adult anime show called Ha Ha You Clowns Subversion. Oh, that cartoon? I haven't really watched it, but I will. Mother Moon was arrested 3 months ago. What the fuck? Well, let's pray for her release. It's first they get Diddy, then Mother Moon, and all the good ones. Okay. We Are the 1-3 is a great Misfit song and Kurt's IQ. I haven't heard this song, but it is my IQ. Trump's $6 billion merger with Fusion Energy Company. Thoughts? Didn't they just kill some guy with Fusion, and then they killed the guy that killed him? Or is that a different set of people?
No, I think you're thinking about, because you were talking about the Brown University guy, the guy they're blaming also killed himself. And then there was this other weird murder at this guy's home who was involved in that. And apparently they don't have any suspects. The conspiracies. Well, I'm just reporting exactly what the mainstream media is telling us. I'm just, again, I don't know. Those are ones I've not looked into very far at all, but like the Brown University thing was extremely bizarre, and there seems to be some other connection outside of, radical Islam, and she was a right-winger. And then this one guy, there's just like no reporting on it whatsoever.
You know what Lucifer is at the end of the day, Jason? What I do think, and I'm not basing this on the Jason Bermas left brain activity. I'm based on something a guy said that struck with me so much, I think he's probably right. Lucifer is a plasma ball of inverted souls that join with it like a fucking See, plasma, you could do everything with plasma, dude. You could have a cold, hot, any way you want it to. Mm-hmm. And you could make a nice AI with plasma. In fact, in Iron Man, he's always waving his hands in a fucking ball of shit. That's plasma. Okay. Didn't learn about it in school for some reason. The fourth state of matter that you would think they would tell you about. Don't worry about space for a while, and don't think about plasma.
Unless our government just decided, after World War II and the Manhattan Project and during the Cold War, to classify large swaths of physics and deem anybody who went outside of the norm of the science as a kook.
And if you figure it out, then you fucking die, and then some other guy dies who died you. Come on, guys. Is everybody going to fall for this forever? Okay. Curious if you heard about Luca Pacioli. I don't. Does that mean anything to you?
No name. I have no idea.
Are you on Jimmy Dore Day? No, I'm not. I have a show that I'm doing. Come on. I told Jimmy yesterday on the show. Actually, I told him Big Homie CC would be here, but he's not here. But like I said, I think he's like in Kenya or something based on podcasts I see him on. Baron Coleman did the Google searches. Check him out. Does Baron Coleman know that all the shootings have the same Google searches as long as Google's been around? I wonder. Because I tell people and they just forget about it like it's no big deal. But if you're worried, if you're thinking about those searches, the Virginia Tech shooter, the searches spiked on Google. But I've already heard from J.R. Sweet and Kathy O'Brien they were going to start doing school shootings with kids and help us disarm. Australia, those pussies disarmed after the first Spurg shooting. Fucking, they're not rugged. They're all fucking Chris Hemsworths, or they look like Bruce Spence. Let's face the facts about these people. Okay. Oh, although if you were here last week when Aaron, with the mystery of why Scientology never became a sex cult, which I find it was fascinating. Scientology, most cults, people go, all cults become sex cults, not Scientology.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, why? And James McCann, the Australian, is a comic, very smart guy. He goes, because that's how you get to be a real religion. If you could just keep it from degenerating into a sex cult, you can alchemically pass in religion. He didn't say alchemically, but that's what it is. Okay. But he's right. That's dead right. That's why Scientology, of course, you could still have your Danny Masterson times in there, but the religion, Nexium was about that, you know?
Yeah, and if you look at, the Dianetics guy, L. Ron Hubbard, he also, naval intelligence, seems to have that bent of the government as well, and you wonder whether or not he continued to work with the government, and maybe, just maybe, because nobody ever talks about the Office of Naval Intelligence, there was a push there as well.
Yeah, well, Pastor Rob McCoy's dad, don't forget, Psychological Warfare Office of Naval Intelligence, head of Psychological Warfare Department. Oh, boy, that fits in with the stories about the one world government that we've been hearing about that I thought only crazy people said. Oh, if you're wondering about Alex Jones, by the way, remember he was being sued for $1 billion fucking dollars? Remember that? So if he's not jumping on board, the guy got pulled out of his fat pulled out of the fryer by whoever came in on Trump. Do you think he might be hesitant to bite the hand of the people that saved him from being sued for $1 billion?
Well, he still lost. I mean, so supposedly they're having another auction, and it's supposed to take place either at the very end of December or the beginning of January. So
Trump fucked him over too?
Yeah, he still lost that throughout the investigation on the appeal. I would say this. The judge recognized the last auction was fraudulent. We don't know whether this next auction is going to be legitimate. And by legitimate, I mean...
he better say the right thing. He better say the right thing, right?
Well, I just wonder. The whole thing was such a weird fiasco. The bottom line is, if you're selling this off as an asset, it goes to the highest bidder. And the way they were trying to do it before, it was not only the highest bidder, but the Onion didn't even have the liquid funds to buy it, and it wasn't even that much.
What's his name? Ben.
I forget what his last name is, but I know you're talking about for sure.
Thought he was gay. Apparently, he's married to a woman. Very odd. He's the one that paid. Now, you wouldn't know about this, Jason, because you don't look at nonsense. I look at everything. Keffels, the online streamer, who was trying to get Kiwi Farms taken down. And I recommend Kiwi Farms to everybody. And isn't that a hate bullying site? No. It's a bunch of obsessive spurgs cataloging lots of fucked up shit.
Okay.
And the info is really wild. And that Ben, it's not Carson, but that Ben fuck was paying Keffels. So at the lowest levels of the sector in streamer talk, these assholes have tentacles in it. The people reporting on it don't even realize what they're saying. And if I tell them, they think I'm being silly, but it's valuable. And that Ben fuck, what was his thing called that bought it? Octagon. It bought the Onion.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to buy InfoWars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Collins. How could I forget? Ben Collins. Perhaps you've heard of the Collins Elite from the Final Events book, or Barnabas Collins. Because you can't. The only reason I suspect Ben Collins might be one of the legendary Collins families, because I can't find shit about him online. Where's his family from? Oh, that's usually very telling. Okay. You ever hear the Van Dusens?
I actually am. I have heard that name, but I'm friends. The lady who cuts my hair back in New York is a Van Dusen. I love you, Sandy.
How's she spell that?
It's V-A-N, and then it goes to the next word.
Doyson? Is it like Doyson?
Yeah, D-U-E-S-O-N.
Is your family in the funeral business by any chance?
No, thank goodness. I don't know the dad very much, so I would assume that's not her maiden name.
There's a botanical garden in New York that I believe they own, and you can't find shit on this family, and there's a botanical garden in Canada. Now, when you hear botanical garden, everyone, and wouldn't you know it, the City of London licensed the land somehow, bizarrely. Whenever you hear City of London involved and botanical garden.
I went to a wedding at the New York Botanical Garden in the city. It was one of the most...
The Van Dusen wedding?
No, it was not. It was actually my buddy. They got divorced shortly after. It was the most ritzy wedding I'd ever been to. The father must have spent mega money. He was a bit of a comic book dork, even back then. And this is like 2005, 6. Spider-Man was at the wedding. We had somebody dressed in a Spider-Man outfit. Yes, it was a big ta-da.
Dude, do you know Spider-Man?
I know him.
Find out how Peter Parker gets those pictures. Okay, wait. Watch the CK high def pics frame by frame. I don't want to watch it. And also, how the fuck? The one I saw, this big thing of blood came out of him. And apparently that wasn't there in the real one. So how the fuck do I even find the real one? They knew people would be watching. They purposely made it look plausible that 5 different things could have killed him. Who cares how they killed him? You know they did. And I know they did because Israel's calling him an anti-Semite for up to 3 weeks before he died. We reported on Jimmy's because my friend Dave Smith was on And okay, so like TPUSA is profoundly corrupt. First of all, even if it wasn't corrupt, when Charlie was still there, who the fuck sat there listening to that stupid shit? I didn't give that guy enough credit because he was a sincere dude that liked to yap. Then I respect that. And I didn't. I said his face looked like God, like it was like his feature concentrated like Gaza into a concentration camp, and it's a war crime. How big his head is and how small his face. I said shit like that. But that poor fucker was living the Truman Show and didn't fucking know it. And the second he tried to do what's right, he's dead. So I feel bad for that a little bit, you know? But aside from that, the whole movement's fucking stupid. Why would you be part of it? Are you an idiot? Are you a Christian? Why would a Christian think any of that shit's okay? It's baffling. I'm not a Christian, but I constantly have to explain to Christians their own goddamn lore. Why? You don't think something's wrong? Okay. Let's see. Reach out to Deliberate Stranger if you can. He's knowledgeable on topics you find interesting. Get Blair back. I've texted Blair. I haven't heard back yet. And Blair is freaked out about all that shit, by the way. I'm a little cavalier about it, and I feel bad, but we got to get it out there. Actually, on the show, Blair's like, I don't give a fuck. So I hope Blair still feels that way. Michael Jackson was chemically castrated, thus never going through puberty. How do you know that? His corrupt doctor told you? Here's what I think. I think Michael Jackson, his dad did some devil shit. In fact, the stories from Black channels talking about it are very similar to Jay Parker's story about having some shit poured in his ear. Ooh. Same exact fucking ceremony. Ooh. So I listen for that. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard. This is the same thing I heard before. In fact, Jay Marvelous. Okay, there's a guy on YouTube, black guy that talks. Now, look, I don't know that everybody broke the oath and that's why they're going down, but I have to say, Jay Marvelous has noticed some very interesting patterns. And I know the 27 Club, if you think that that's just, what do you think, that's magic? Here's the mainstream explanation. Oh, magically, something about 27, no one knows. Or do you think the psychopath intel mafia fucking occultists that run all the music, do you think 27, the age I started realizing I'm getting screwed on a contract, these musicians do when they're not getting paid, that's right around the age when it hits them. And then they're insured, so they're worth more dead than alive because a mafia is doing a mafia scam. I'll bet you it's that one and not the magical 27 number. That's my guess. Jay Marvelous. It's not spelled right, so you're going to have to do it in somewhere. Okay. Stop. That's stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop. Is it all you have to say, though, Widow Kirk? Is it? Because I can still take. Now you're saying stop taking selfies in the tent where your husband died? Because that would make sense. Yeah, Candace is the grifter, but this bitch has the actual husband death tent that you could take a selfie in after you pay the exorbitant fees to get into DPUSA. Wow. That's funny as shit, dude. Soto Popinski. Okay. Favorite show, keep it coming. Would you? Yeah, of course I have Ian Carroll on. Will he come on? Listen, you think that it's like, I don't ask people? But I haven't asked Ian, to be fair. But I hope he would come on. Have you seen Newest Profession? Yes, I have seen them. Can you imagine being a student in his class? Well, no, because I'm not a Chinese person with a fake English name, for one thing. He goes, Kimberly, can you read this? Don't have her read it, Professor Zhang. Come on, don't have her. Well, I enjoy the channel. I would like to get him on, by the way. And you know, clearly, his Rome one, do you know who that is, Jason?
Rome? Who?
Professor Zhang on YouTube?
No.
He gives lectures on the whole conspiracy, but he's Chinese. I don't know where he's doing it from. I thought Beijing, but I might be wrong. But Chinese guy. The one on Rome, I really enjoyed a lot. It was because I guess Rome just made up a lot of their history. Okay, like they had a Greek write it, and then they had a Roman guy re-Romanize it. So the Hannibal, the pincer thing that doesn't actually work before guns were invented doesn't really make sense. Mm-hmm. Now he might be right about that. Okay, but I can read between the lines. Because as he's talking shit on Rome, I'm like, he's talking about America. He's 100%. America's the new Rome, Egypt. You don't got to be a genius to see what he's getting at with it. And I'm here for it. But I keep that in the back of my head that Rome lecture is about why America's fucking stupid. And it makes sense. Like I said, I played China. You could talk about anything but China. So what I'd like to ask him about, because he has some great info, tell me how the Lee family fits into this, Professor, because there's not just the West. There's a whole world out there that's part of this thing. And I want to know, because I know China, the Wuhan virus, that wasn't for us. Ours was made in Raleigh. Mm-hmm. The Wuhan virus was to kill off Chinese people on purpose. Remember the population bomb? China doesn't have any immigrants, and they have too many old people. That's the population bomb. They're going to be fucked pretty soon because they have a population bomb. I heard this from all the secular greats for a year straight. Oh my God, Peter Zeihan, the great Peter Zeihan. What a treat it is to hear him talk. Zeter Pie Hands talking about people's supply of potash and lithium. Well, that's why they work together with Fauci and the NHI, because it's above America and Trump. Fauci, Jesuit, work together so everyone can thin out their own herds with a nice soft kill. That's what I think happened. And I'd like to ask Professor Jiang about that. Even though I love his shit, I want to know how the whole thing fits, not just the one I'm in that I like your criticism of. But I want to know about the Lee family and the bloodlines and this dragon shit as well. Okay. I'm not a sucker, you assholes, just because, I mean, I am sometimes. I can't say that. All right. Have unplug him on. A believer, I believe in be more knowledgeable than being homie. I'll have to look him up and see it, man. I'll check it out. Maybe he is. Everybody could just tell you what they could tell you. Trump Media Technology Group, $6 billion merger agreement with nuclear fuel. Well, I guess we know what that shooting was about, don't we? I guess we now know. Jason will probably find the details one day.
Well, let me say this. You know, that also has to do with nuclear fusion. All of these data centers are not only going to take fresh water, but they're going to take up energy. They're talking about these little mini nuclear fusion centers. And then have you seen what's happened with RAM?
Fox News telling you not to get a real tree to make some sacrifices for the AI god?
Well,
That's
we're
real
making a
thing on
lot.
Fox.
Let me talk about those sacrifices just really quick. I don't know that I've had this discussion with you yet. But RAM for your computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just 3 months ago in September, a stick of RAM, let's say 2 sticks of RAM, that was like, say, 32 gigabytes, right? Probably get it for like $1.20, $1.30, somewhere in there, right? And traditionally, years ago, in 2023 when I bought it, that's what it was. You know what it is now?
No.
$370. It is more than tripled. Let me tell you why. So I'll give you another, like right now, I posted it. They on sale, 128 gigabyte kit, two sticks of RAM, $1,476 with a saving of $505. 3 months ago, it was only $505. Here's what happened. We had 4 major companies that were making RAM, okay? One cut out last year. Just a month ago, Micron.
What do you mean cut out?
Well, just a month ago, Micron, who does Crucial, they got out of the business. Okay, what's happening is it is no longer more profitable for them to make consumer-level RAM for me and you, empowering us to own stuff and have our own stuff.
Wouldn't you know it?
But now they're making RAM strictly for these AI data centers at a greater profit, and we're getting ballooned up. Guess what else has gone up? And you're going to see all your consumer electronics go up. It's the first time in history that a game system has been out for 5 years, like an Xbox Series X. Premiered at $500, it's $650. All of it's going up, and your phones are going to go up too. Silver, what did it hit? $66? Get ready for it to go to $120, everybody.
Oh, this is really, we're going to have those Venetian city states that I've been dreaming about. Maybe the Doge will let me have a PlayStation.
This is to work you out of everything. And listen, these initial data centers that are much smaller, places in Tennessee outside of Nashville that have already adopted these, within 18 months, their bill is almost doubled. They've gotten nothing out of it. Man.
Wait till all the idiots talking about fucking every other thing see this. That's going to be fun.
Well, I'm just telling you, RAM is through the roof. Get ready for the precious metals to go through the roof. They'll probably they'll probably also downplay Bitcoin as well. So it's not, remember, a lot of the Bitcoin gets mined through traditional GPUs. GPUs, for those graphics processing units, again, that can empower you and allow me to do shows like this and show you everything. They finally, 6 months ago, hit their MSRP. They had been bloated, double, triple the price, especially during COVID.
Well, I don't even know what MSRP is. I've heard
that
of it.
That is MSRP just means the price that it's supposed to come out at. So in other words, the store pays so much. This is what they suggest you sell it at, right?
Okay.
That wasn't just like you were trying to get that PlayStation 5 online, not for the 500.
Well, I was helping Saddam Hussein make missiles with PlayStations. That's why I was looking for it. Remember
that story,
Saddam?
yes. Well, listen.
He's taking the PlayStations to make missiles.
Well, it probably has better CPUs. But again, those GPUs have their own type of RAM that has been provided by these companies for years. They're now doubling and tripling as well. So get ready, folks.
Professor Zhang, I take back what I said about China. I support China. I would like some RAM and a flying car.
Look into the RAM thing, man. You know what? Jimmy should be
that
covering
dude could
that.
be an agent trashing America. And what am I supposed to say if the motherfucker's right? What am I supposed to say, dude? Yo, it's not as good as China here, assholes. We're less than China, you fucking assholes. And I mean in terms of freedom. You fucking... Who am I talking to? Okay, sorry, let me finish this. Yeah, I have to choke back a lot of rage from learning new things, Jason, so I have to... Okay. Kurp looking like Timo Captain Spaulding, eBay, Winchester. There's too many words. Unvaccinated guy. Look, I'm halfway tempted to teach you how to goddamn write a joke, but I'm not going to. Now, stop gilding the lily. You find one idea, follow it to the end. You don't just put all the ideas in one sentence. Thank you for your super chat. Okay. Okay, wait. Cake in a cup. Oh, that sounds good right now. Currently, Kurt is diving deeper into the obscure. It is because he has no new... Are you using the Twilight language on me, switching out new and canoe? Okay. About anything current because he spends his time talking, not researching these days. Are you the motherfucker who's been looking through my windows? Is that you? Because I've been having a problem with that. No, I wasn't talking.
You know what, Kurt?
I was asking my phone to research things. It looks like I'm talking.
Well, I'll say this. You let me break a lot of new Epstein stuff that, unless you're watching my show, isn't anywhere else. So
I'm going to have Jimmy have you on, dude, because it's crazy you haven't been on there. But you picked out such great stuff, dude, that you should really be brought out. But Jimmy will have it on. I bring it up on Jimmy's show because, now that the 9/11 thing has crumbled that narrative, unless you're, a fucking cow, now is the time to bring Bermas. A Bermas resurgence is what I say.
I'd love to do the show, obviously. I mean, again, I want everybody just to take a look at the baseline information. Like, that's what's most important. Like you said, it's tough because we do seem to have this general populace that is mesmerized by a certain thing, a shiny object for just a little while, and then a week or two later, they can't even remember that shiny object, unfortunately.
No, I know. You don't have to be smart to I mean, dude, I don't even know what it is, but I'll wear a funny hat if I can help break the spell. I don't understand why this is not apparent to everyone, all these things. I don't get it. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm even talking about most of the time. All right. What's Dunnigan's Jennifer Lawrence story? I'll tell you that, and then we got to get out of here because we went long. But it was a good one. It was good Bermas. It was a good derp I had. So Jennifer Lawrence, who I promise you is a programmed MK monarch like you've heard of. And this is now, when he told me this, I didn't know this shit. But this is beta sex getting programming to pull this shit. They're at dinner, a bunch of actors and shit. And she tells a story about being on the set of X-Men, and she had to like order a new dildo or vibrator. She's telling this at dinner, all these people. And she goes, and it was like, she said like, so they're about to shoot. She's in her trailer, and she came so hard from her vibrator that she pulled something like in her back or her leg, and she fucking, I've never had that injury, but I have had sciatica, but that's how I interpret it. Is that she came so hard she gave herself fucking sciatica, probably. That's what I would have said to her. Oh, maybe it's sciatica. Anyway, she came so hard that she couldn't leave the trailer. So then eventually her sister and somebody found her, and they had to take her to the hospital. It cost like $1 million of a shooting day from how hard she came playing with herself in the trailer with a brand new vibrator.
Well, let me say this about Jennifer Lawrence really quick. First of all, I think some of the videos from that time period are part of that fappening thing, and obviously she's part of it, and let's just see, she's drenched in one of those and clearly like as drunk and effed up as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Allegedly, she's one of those A-list actresses that Harvey Weinstein hanged, and on top of that, she also
and was willing.
Just saying.
I already heard about Kidman. Here's what they'd say in Hollywood, and Kidman did it willingly. Gwyneth famously. Well, I thought everybody knew these rumors. Like Bill Maher likes black hookers with dicks. I thought everybody knew. They don't, but that's what he's into. If you're nice to Harvey, he's nice to you. That was what Kenneth Paltrow sang, and I know that must have gone around some gossip thing somewhere. But that's what everybody used to say. But keep in mind, going back to Bob Hope times and Marilyn Monroe, who was a fucking programmed fucking slave that got passed around by Kennedy and Sinatra. She used to pass messages between Sam Giancana and Kennedy. Yes, that's called the MK Ultra operation. Was it Carrier Pigeon?
And remember, hold on, Jennifer Lawrence did a full movie where she is an assassin sex slave, but it's for the Ruskies. Exactly. Like,
I'll
just
do you one better. I heard Jennifer Garner came up in one of them families, and her show Alias is not that far off from her real fucking life.
Yeesh.
Okay. I listen, I talked to everybody. Okay, wait. Anyway, Dunnigan said, when he's telling the story, Dunnigan's filled with these amazing stories, and he goes, so I'm like, why would you tell people that? And I thought, and so me not knowing what I know, I was like, well, she's probably trying to seem really cool, because that seems like a story that like a guy would tell to be cool. That's like Artie Lang, like she's trying to Artie Lang tell
Sure.
But Kyle was right. He was picking up because he's all boned up from the story of how she rubbed her pussy till she fucking hurt her back. That's what the intention of her telling that story to a table of important people is. That's Twilight language. Pickup artist shit. Should a guy says, you could take an Andrew Tate class. He had a guy named Iggy Semmelweis, that's not his name. Guy from the Rajneesh cult. You know that? That was his Merlin. Yeah, his brother was the sublime prince of his little pyramid scheme. They all do Freemasonry. They all just take Freemasonry and do their version. Nexium had the inner circle of you do circles within circles as the great Lord Milner continue the tradition of Cecil Rhodes. That's the point of doing that. So I see who's cool. I pull them into the inner Diddy parties. You can see it all laid out in a Diddy party. Where I went, but I was in the outer. I didn't stay late. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but that's how it works. I find out what your weakness is, and I invite you to that party. And then you get deeper and deeper. And then why would you leave? I mean, you've done some fucked up shit. Might as well just fucking go with it, right? That's how everything works. Okay. Oh, by the way, I think Rob Reiner, 100%, how can I say it online? Grape his son. Nobody kisses their dad on the fucking lips like that. Nobody. And Carl Reiner kisses him on the lips, and we got pictures of it. Nobody goes to rehab 18 times, even a fuck up, unless their dad fucked them. That's what I say. And I remember Menendez brothers, and I know that happened to them. And you go watch ex-prisoners talk about knowing them in prison. These guys talk shit on everyone. They got nothing bad to say about neither one of them brothers. The guy's like, no, they helped us with a case, and the one brother's like shy, and the one brother protects him, and he helped me start a business. So they were just nice kids having shit forced on them by their generational fucked up parents. And that's what lives there. And you know who's into it? Oh, Jerry Van Dyke. You know about Jerry Van Dyke?
I don't know that one, no. I know who it is.
Yeah, from Coach. Mm-hmm. So I remember this. Kelly Van Dyke killed her, Omega'd. Kelly Van Dyke Omega'd herself. It was big news when A Current Affair was big, right? Or whatever. It was when Coach was on. Jerry Van Dyke played the second in command coach,
the goofy
Sandusky
guy. Yeah, the Sandusky guy.
Yeah, he played the Sandusky guy named Jerry. Okay, well, what his daughter had sold, his daughter did porn, Hey, why do these famous people, their kids get into porn? I wonder if they got molested by their famous, because they live in a fucking Luciferian hellhole called California. Anyway, according to her story, her dad passed her. He would come in at night. She started drugging herself to not be awake for it. And her dad brought Robert Mitchum home. And guess who else her dad brought home? Jerry Van Dyke brought home. Gene Hackman.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, it hurts.
That one hurts. I like the Hackman. Yeah.
But why? I don't know that motherfucker.
Well, I know, but you know how it goes. Even him playing villains, great character actor.
Well, that's called magic. Louis Katz, greatest joke. I don't think he even does anymore, but he goes, the greatest award our society gives is allow you to straight up molest children. Like, I had a great set tonight, but it wasn't molest kids good. He was talking about Woody Allen and Michael Jackson. The highest honor we can give in our Western fucking society is to let you get away with doing shit to kids, your kids and other people's kids. And why? Why should it hurt? It doesn't, but I know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, Gene Hackman, ooh. Why? I don't know him. Why would I have a parasocial feeling? Because I liked a movie. You see the magic of it? You see?
Yeah.
They call it that. Why do they call it that? Because they can molest your kids. Because you go like a priest, only they're like openly devilish instead of like secretly devilish. All right. Well, this is quite a derp we've had today, I must say. Bermas, let me talk to Jimmy too, because you got to get that shit you showed. I'm going to hook you up with Due Dissonance guys, too, because they've been showing the funny pictures of Chomsky and Bannon.
Sure.
Now, like I said, it don't matter who you like. What are the facts? And when they say something that is 180 degrees off, I waste time dwelling on why someone would say the wrong thing, but I don't really care at the end of the day. I want to know what's real.
Me too.
And I'm just going to tell you if it's real or not. That's all. All right, that's it. You guys just got derped. Happy holidays.
And that is it. I told you, we derped with Kurp for a very long time. He likes to go all over the place. I like to bring it in as tightly as possible. You guys seem to enjoy these shows. Before we go, I do got to ask you, I need your support more than ever right now. $5, $10, $15, big donors. It means the world to me. I know it's Christmas time. I know it's tough out there, but if you can, consider giving to true independent media. And as always, it is not about left or right. It is always about right and wrong. I absolutely love you guys, and we'll see you all on the flip side.